What is up, YouTube? My Cowboys family here, bringing you guys the latest update on our very own Dallas Cowboys. And of course, as always, thank you so much for joining us here tonight. Take a second, hit like, subscribe, hit that notification bell, follow us on all social media at MyCowboysFamily, and hop in the Discord. Link for that's in the description box down below. And of course, as we get rolling here tonight, guys, there are some people we have to give the love, the appreciation to, as we, of course, get rolling here tonight on another MCF stream. But thank you very much to the current sponsor of the week, the membership man himself, Skeptical Fan. Thank you so much, Skeptical. Appreciate you. Much love. He's not the only one representing, though. MyCowboysFamily bossing that stream around with 89 points. And, of course, SnugX. You know why he's here. Our Cash App King this week.
Yes,
thank you so much to all of our leaders there representing.
Yeah, they're representing the board this week, but next week is training camp. Who's going to represent the board then? Right now, Mark's, like you said, 89 points on the stream boss, but with that battle for the Cash App leader board right there to try to take that spot, that crown, it's Jason Renfro who's leading it right now as we kick it off here, past midweek, middle of this week. So Jason Renfro in the driver's seat to get the crown back. And the overall leader on this board currently, overall, is still MyCowboysFamily holding it down. Much love to him. He's not just on the stream boss, he's also leading for that sponsor of the week.
That's right.
So he'll be, we'll see. Right now, it looks like Jason and maybe, Jason and Mark might be heading into training camp week, repping the boards here on MCF. We shall see. But in the meantime, thank you to all you guys. And again, Skeptical Fan, extra thanks to him as he's the membership man. 2 months in a row. Has the lead for another one. I think he's got like 33. The record's 35, so he's about to break his own record here. Much love to the man staying skeptical. And he's also, he's winning that battle with Jason Renfro, but he's also star-level membership with Jason Renfro, Dwayne Broussard, Lincoln Kane, and Mary Alvarez. Much love to the star-level membership. And there's other ways to drop love. Super chats, memberships, membership gifting, thanks button. By the way, Skeptical dropped 3 $2 hollers in the last, I know we were off yesterday, the last 2 days. He dropped 3 thanks in our videos. He dropped one saying Zach Martin's holding out, not good. Saying pay Zach Martin. Saying there are too many mouths to feed this season. Martin is bugging for more money at the wrong time.
And
great points. Great points by
off the stream.
Yeah, great points by Skeptical Fan. Just on those thanks. What did he say live here on stream with the first drop of the night by the man staying skeptical, who's he's in second place on the board, trying to catch Mr. MyCowboysFamily. And what did he say with that J. Lou too?
He said, "Well, I'm waiting for Zach Martin to book a flight to Cabo." Shake my head.
Gonna pull a Zeke?
Yep.
I hope not. Listen, I don't think it's going to be like that. We'll discuss this here. It's one of the main pieces of news tonight. We got to get through a couple other things. Again, we were not here yesterday, so we apologize. almost missed another one today, but we wanted to make sure we caught up on the news, info, and updates. And, of course, the Zack Martin holdout. The wife here dropped the one yesterday. A little update for you guys with the discussion, the move to tonight.
Yeah, I was just trying to have a peaceful lunch, and then I saw the Zack Martin stuff and said, hold the frick up.
Yeah, exactly. So, hey, we'll discuss the Zack Martin situation and a lot of other things here floating around tonight here on MCF. But first, baby, other ways to support the channel here and drop the love, not just through the super chat and the other ways, membership. But remember, guys, YouTube is a killer. They're starting to take 45% of almost everything here instead of 30%. It's a 15% difference. So if you want to help out the channel in other ways outside of YouTube, here's 4 other opportunities.
You have the Cash App money sign MyCowboysFamily, the Venmo at My-Cowboys-Family, of course your regular PayPal link, and last but not least, Streamlabs shows up right here on the screen just like a super chat.
Yeah.
So again, huge shout out to everybody showing the love and dropping the love.
Appreciate everybody in the house. And baby, speaking of in the house, who is in the house for tonight's MCF live stream?
Wow.
Whoa.
We
We
have
got 2, 3. What?
No.
Is it a 5 on it?
Yes, it is.
Oh,
because we
man.
have
A
Skeptical
lot of new
Fan
members here.
representing in a big way.
Woo.
Do you have 5 on it?
Yeah, you see the shirt. We want 6. Currently, we got 5 on it, and Skeptical's got 5 on it as he breaks the record on right now, the 2 months. He's broken the high for each month right now with 38. Yeah, 38 gifted memberships. It's insane. Skeptical knows how to show the love here. And back to the family in the chat. Much love to Skeptical Fan. As I got to check my numbers here. He is definitely getting close. Very close. I mean, very close to that top spot. He might have just went in first place. Let me check on that. But, baby, who are the lucky recipients of the memberships?
Yeah, let me shout out Ron the Don Smith.
The Don.
Shout out to the Don. We have Eric Wallace in the house, Don Oliver, Jonathan Brown, and Clark motherfucking Kent. Huge shout out to Skeptical Fan for making it happen. Huge shout out to all of you guys for being here, being the lucky winners there. Let me keep going with the shout outs of everybody here. Thank you to Texas Twister in the house. Stay safe out there on the road.
Yes.
Snug X representing the Cash App King himself. We have, of course, Skeptical Fan, always staying skeptical, the sponsor of the week.
Yeah.
Retro Scotty in the house, much love. He said, Zack isn't a Cabo guy, which I do kind of have to agree a little bit, but in my mind, when I saw that comment, I had to say he's probably going to be hanging with Zack Frederick. Zack Frederick. Travis Frederick.
Yeah.
Saying Zack Martin's going to be hanging with Travis Frederick there instead. So, where does he live? In Wisconsin now, or is he still in Dallas? I think he's still in Dallas.
Yeah, he does his
so,
charity
so I have a feeling he's going to be staying close to home either way. But Least Side Herald, here to talk real football.
In least
Tommy
place.
Montoya in the house, much love. We have Thomas Garrett, the Superior.
Hell yeah.
Garrett. Jason Renfro, of course. Much love to you. Chris Plumage. No, I never forget you. I got you here, Chris. Much love. So again, huge shout out to everybody here chilling, hanging with us. But like we said, since we did have to take a night off yesterday, we have quite a bit of things to get through. So let's go ahead, baby, kind of touch on some of those things. And obviously, Zack Martin is the biggest type of news, just because he is obviously, like I said in the chat, where our bread is buttered.
Yeah, so you guys have to stay tuned for the whole show to get our input and our thoughts and our new information on Zack Martin. You're going to stay tuned for that. But we'll get there quickly. It's not that much other stuff. It's just a lot of little things that we must get to, as well as the Zack Martin discussion. But I did want to say one thing also, baby. Ooh, I got to fix that too.
Rolando Rodriguez, what's up?
Yes, in the house, Orlando. But I got to shout out Skeptical Fan one last time because he has 38 gifted memberships. Jason Renfro has 4 for this month. The record's now been broken officially. We'll see how much bigger it can get possibly the remaining days of this month. But also, Skeptical Fan just jumped into first, a hair in front of Mark Hosepian.
Oh.
But he's in first place now, repping the top spot on the board. Skeptical, is he going for back-to-back? Like our 90s Cowboys? We shall see. We shall see. Now, let's talk about a team that hasn't won 2 Super Bowls in their entire lineage. Okay, in their entire history. And you guys know this team because we hate them with the passion. We know 5 is always greater than 1. We know it's F the Eagles. We know it's Cry Eagles Cry. You know why I'm saying this, though? C.J. Gardner-Johnson. GJ, I guess, his nickname. But the point is, he was an Eagle last year. All right? C.J. Gardner, very good pickup they got from the Saints. I think it was a very good move they made, a slot corner that really helped them out. And when he was healthy, when he was not injured, he was in there. He, of course, left this year. He went to, I forgot where he went. You guys, let me know where he went to. He go to Carolina, went somewhere, I don't know. He went to another team, but he said this on Eagles fans, about Eagle fans. He said, quote, "They're fucking obnoxious. I fucking can't stand the fuckers."
Oh, boy.
That's a direct quote, so YouTube, I'm sorry, but that's a quote from C.J. Gardner-Johnson. When your own player,
sorry, not sorry.
when your own Eagle player from last year, okay, notices a trend. Now, he wasn't going to say this when he was an Eagle, but now he's gone. It's not like his hate. I mean, he's getting money. He's got money somewhere else. He got a good deal somewhere else. It's not like the Eagles hurt him. He just didn't like the fans. They're a bunch of schmucks. They're a bunch of fucking fuckers, as he said here. He's just obnoxious.
Hey, look, sometimes
people.
all you can do is quote.
Listen, I don't think he liked it there. I don't think they were going to pay him, but he was a very good addition for their team last year. I know he's happy he's out of there. I can't blame the guy. So good move there, CJ. Thank you for the insight there on the shitty Eagle fan base, which we already knew how crappy they really are. But let's talk about another fan base, another team that's hitting the reset button today, guys. Daniel Snyder and the Washington Commanders. This is a significant move today. Obviously, we talk about it for months. Today, we talked about it 2 days ago. It's going to come around the corner. It was expected to be voted on today. And guess what? One of the most significant days in the history of Washington football. This day has arrived. The NFL owners today, first of all, when they got in there, it was an expectation, right? The word was, as Jerry Jones is walking in, the expectation was they were going to approve the sale of the Washington Commanders from Tanya and Daniel Snyder to Josh Harris, Magic Johnson, and the rest of that group, right? Harris, is going to become the new owner. We knew this morning of the Commanders for the price of $6.05 billion with a B, $1 billion. And again, Daniel Snyder would be out, right? And other things came around. I'll discuss that in a minute. But I just wanted to make a comment about our guy here, Jerry Jones. The reason why I put him on here, again, if you guys seen him in the picture here.
Oh, Jerry.
You guys see him there? He got a little demon face going on because he came in with a passion. You know what he said? Jerry Jones, upon the arrival at today's special NFL meeting to approve the Commanders' sale, I'm going to leave this picture on because he said, quote, "I think it's going to be a great day for the NFL." He said, "I look forward to going into Washington and delivering capital punishment this fall." That's what he added.
Now look,
capital punishment was added there right on Snyder's head today, though.
Every once in a while, Jerry has his moments, and I have to admit, that was funny.
That was a glory hole moment right there. So Jerry Jones coming in there and said, "We're going to dish out punishment here in this meeting, and we're going to dish it out when we meet them in the game, in Washington." So again, big day here, of course. This move was approved by the NFL. Again, it was officially approved today after this morning meeting came in there. And Daniel Snyder had 24 seasons as an owner for the Washington Commanders, Washington Redskins, of course, had only six playoff appearances. I can't really brag. We can't brag too much either.
Right.
24 years, though, he had 6 playoff appearances under his reign. They only had 2 playoff wins in 24 years with Daniel Snyder. No NFC Championship game appearances, so just as bad as us there. 10 different head coaches, not quite as bad as us. 27 different starting quarterbacks, definitely not as bad as us. And he had as the owner, he had a 4.27 winning percentage, 43% winning percentage, which ranked in the last 24 years 27th in the NFL. So I wanted to see Daniel Snyder stay here for another 50 years, but this Daniel, he's out. So that's a big boost to Washington. No matter what, I think the Commanders are automatically now just more of a competitive team, just getting out the old scumbag of Daniel Snyder there. Daniel Snyder, he led a group that purchased the Washington franchise back in 1999 for $800 million. Of course, he's getting over $6 billion for it now.
I mean, you have to assume whoever's getting the team now is going to be a little bit more competent than Snyder seemed to be, since he was a little too busy.
Yeah, I mean, you gotta hope so.
Freaking around.
Yeah, well, we're gonna talk. But again, that's not even what. Okay, he sold it today. They wanted him out, but what did he do wrong? We're gonna talk about it. Daniel Snyder, though, back in '99, he bought the Washington Redskins at the time for $800 million. 24 years later, he sells the team for $6.05 billion. That's nearly a 700% return on his initial investment. So he didn't lose anything here. This man made money hand over fist in the last 24 years off of Washington. And the $6.05 billion sale price sets a new record for a North American sports franchise. Daniel Snyder's tenure, 24 years, 1 month, 25 days. Regular season record, we discussed it. Again, not a very good all-around kind of situation there. All pros, they only had 2 in 24 years, guys. Brandon Sheriff and Jeremy Reeves. That's it. So Again, I'm going to say this, and I'm going to say it with a big smile on my face, a very lackluster 24 years for the Washington Commanders, and I love it. Now,
let's continue this trend, right?
Yeah. Now, let's hear from one of the new owners, okay? We know that Josh Harris is the majority owner. There's a lot of minority owners there that have smaller stakes in it, but Magic Johnson is the most known guy, former Lakers superstar. Yeah. I mean, so Irvin Magic Johnson posted today on the sale of the team to his group. What did he have to say, baby?
God is so good, I still can't believe it. I'm currently living in an answered prayer. Since beginning my journey as an athlete and now businessman and team owner, it's all been a dream that has come full circle. I grew up playing football as a kid. I'm a huge NFL fan, and I watch games every week. Now, I get to co-own a storied franchise, the Washington Commanders.
Ooh.
I'm especially thankful to Josh Harris, who allowed me to be one of his partners with the Commanders. He's an amazing man, great friend, incredible businessman, proven owner, and winner with the Philadelphia 76ers. Josh and his team have been first class throughout his entire process. Our ownership team is committed to the DC, Maryland, and Virginia community and fan base to bring a winning team and best-in-class organization.
Now, again, we disagree with everything that Magic said about the Washington Commanders team and franchise. Crap shit on them. But I love the story of, his views and his, as a kid following NFL football. Now he's owning a team. So pretty big deal there. Congrats to Magic and all them. Hopefully they'll have some very, very, very horrible years and not winning anything. And again, always getting swept by us. That's obviously the number one hope. But let's also talk about, what did the NFL find out? And what was Mary Jo White's report? That's the NFL had hired her to do this whole investigation. What were the findings? Well, here's the deal, babe. What do you think about this? The NFL released Mary Jo White's report. She was actually in the meeting. She went in there. It must have been real embarrassing for Snyder. But she went in there, went into the whole details of what the report consisted of and how much effort and years they put into this thing about workplace misconduct at the Washington Commanders, headquarters and anything around them. And again, the NFL decided after all these findings, guess what they did? They're going to fine him $60 million. That's a lot to be fined. But didn't he just sell a team for $6.05 million and he just makes it? He made $6.05 billion.
So a parking ticket, a very expensive one.
I don't even know if it hit the the .05 or whatever, the .01. I don't. Yeah, .05. That's like what, half? That's $500,000. So $500 million. I don't even know. It's a lot. About $500,000. So he took a little bit of that .5 and paid like .06 of that. I don't know. Look, he's getting off pretty easily, I think.
Yeah, it's a drop, clearly.
Yeah, Mary Jo White, who concluded her investigation, stated that the Commanders withheld approximately $11 million in revenue that should have been shared with other teams.
Damn.
Jerry Jones ain't sticking around with that. Jerry Jones gave him probably this face when he heard that. Oh, shit.
That's what I was going to say, that unfortunately it does seem like the Commanders are going to be under better management.
Yeah, so he stole basically $11 million from the rest of the league that should have been shared with all the teams. And again, the investigation also found that Daniel Snyder sexually harassed at least one former team employee. Wow. So again, all these things came out. He's out of there, guys. And again, he didn't get kicked out like Jerry Richardson for racism. He was forced out. I know that. I guess he had to sell the team. But Snyder, he was sold the team, got his money, and head for the hills there. So Mary Jo White also noted the Commanders they did not fully cooperate with her investigation. They were holding stuff back, making things harder for her. He got fined $60 million. But I just want you to say, $60 million the NFL fined Daniel Snyder it's a significant amount for you and I. Obviously, it's a mind-blowing amount, but it's a tiny fraction of the $6.05 billion sale price he received to sell the Washington Commander franchise.
Yeah,
and not only that, he also is making 24 years of profits. Profits on top of just what the worth of the team is. He made profits every year on parking, on merchandise. Keep adding all that up on whatever they got for the tickets.
But you don't have to break down how owners make money hand over fist.
He's making. So Snyder is making money for 24 years hand over fist, made basically 700% profit, and then paid $60 million to leave scot free. There you go. There's the Washington Commander way. Embarrassing. Now, I will say one last thing. According to this new group, it's a kind of last-second thing that just came out before we went live. Pretty good chance that the Washington Commanders will change their team name.
Again?
After this sale is officially completed. Yep, again. So they went from Washington Redskins to the Washington football team to the Washington Commanders to the Washington. Who gives a fuck? So anyways, we'll see what happens. But that was announced today, guys, or tonight. So just if you didn't hear that anywhere else, well, you heard it here at MCF. Washington Commanders probably this year, they're going to have to do a whole revamp. Possibly do a whole revamp on their jersey, their colors, their logo, their mascot, their everything. What a colossal failure that is.
At least it makes more sense
I love
now that they're under new management. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Much more than whatever hot mess they came out with when they were basically forced to retire their racist old logo. So,
I mean, I think a lot of changes came that was almost forced to him, and I think that they want to kind of.
They should have just stayed the Washington football team until they sold the team.
Yeah, I mean, but they didn't know that. He Daniel Snyder wanted the credit for changing the team to like the future team name, and then he thought he was going to keep this team forever. Well, too many facts came out, and he. That was that, I guess. He's got to deal with those consequences.
You can say that again.
Yeah. So there you go. Any quick notes on this before I roll on? Because that's it. That was the big news of the day.
Can they get the Redskins back?
Doubt that.
Probably not without ruffling too many feathers.
So I want to make sure, we definitely went into this. This was the news of the day. But we know the news of the Cowboy Days, Zack Martin. We're going to talk about that in a lot more detail. But any last comments on this?
Right, yeah. Rolando Rodriguez said it. $60 million fine compared to $6 billion is like $1 to us.
Exactly.
That's why I said, I'm like, it's like a very tiny little parking ticket, right? So, by the way, I do think we have a drop here, if I'm not mistaken. Give me just a second while I go ahead and double check that.
Is it about Mr. Snyder, though? That's all? He's out there, guys. So bon voyage to him. Unfortunately, we can't really make fun of them anymore for those reasons. As Snyder's a complete F-up. But, we'll see how the next group comes in. And hopefully we still keep doing what we do to Washington. That's sweep their ass every year. That's the hope, right? No, that's my hope. Jerry Jones, even he's hoping that. Can't blame him. So, I don't know. Do you have an announcement to make?
Yes, we do have a drop in the Cash App. From the current man representing there.
What?
Not that one. Although if he somehow came through in the Cash App, I would say...
That'd be interesting.
Yeah, it would be... Do you think Jerry even has a Cash App?
Let me take a guess. Was it the king of the Cash App?
Right now, yeah.
No, I mean, he's the current king, right?
Yes. Sorry, I meant that. Is Jerry the king of the Cash App? I'm like, right now?
Snug X is the king of the Cash App. And what was his drop, baby?
A $20 Tony Pollard holler.
Snug X enters the building and immediately...
preemptively preparing himself for what he feels like is about to be some unfairly earned Jerry Jones slander.
When
discussing the Zack Martin
You don't know what we're going to say yet, my guy. You don't know. We'll talk about it. I want to hear what you got to say, Snug, but what did he say here with that 5 on it? $5 holler.
Go Cowboys.
Go Cowboys. Much love to Snug X. I'll leave him
we
up
know
there.
why he's here.
Of course. Repping that navy blue silver and two. That's navy blue silver and blue and a star over everything and MCW. So
a lot of reps.
A lot of reps. Hey, we know why he's here. Now I just wanted to say that with that, Snug X jumps immediately into third place, right over Jason Renfro.
There we go.
For the time being. And by the way, he also jumps Jason Renfro. Sorry, Jason. He jumps Jason Renfro on the Cash App board for the current leader. So right now, it's funny. Both leaders on boards, baby. Mm-hmm. Skeptical Fans leading, and he's currently the sponsor of the week. And the leader right now is, the champion, the Cash App crown holder is Snug X, and of course, he is currently leading. So we're currently a couple days to go in the week, and we have both leaders trying to repeat once again. Interesting. All right, thank you guys. Appreciate you all, and keep dropping that knowledge as well. So we hear what your thoughts are on our Cowboys. So if we're all good with old Daniel Snyder here, we won't have to say his name anymore. He's now former Washington Commander owner. You guys are done. I'm good with being done with him as well.
Don't worry, we'll go ahead and play his funeral song.
Hail to the Cowboys! All right, so continuing. NFL news-wise, there's a lot of jersey changes going on. Jersey alternates. We talked about the Browns going with the all-white. I know you finally seen it. You said you didn't mind it too much, huh?
Yeah, I have to admit. I remember, Browns colors are some of the ugliest colors in the NFL. I'm sorry. They're literally called the Browns. It's hard to not picture a giant turd. But I think they did the best they could with these colors. even if it gives you almost like Bengals vibes, but it still works. I like it much better than whatever they had before.
Wow.
So
that's going to be used. I think they're using that for 3 separate games. 3 games this year they're going to hit up that white uniform.
Well, there you go.
But there's other teams out there like the Colts. The Colts unveiled their new, quote, Indiana Knights alternate uniform for this season. They're going to wear... Yeah, they're gonna
strippers now.
Well, again, it's completely ugly. It's like royal blue. It's like light blue, like royal blue. The whole uniform and like the helmet. I don't know. It's
like
just
the Chargers.
It looks no. It's like an ugly blue. It's hard to explain. It's just you have to see it. I don't care enough.
Oh,
but
no, I can't wait to go check it out after the stream. Then.
You can
Actually,
take a peek at it now.
Yeah,
Indiana Knights is what they're going to be called. Alternate uniform. They're going to wear it first at Lucas Oil Stadium on Sunday, October 22nd against the Cleveland Browns. I wonder if they'll be wearing their all-white uniform. And then they will also wear those uniforms for select games in future seasons. So it sounds like only right now they're only playing...
You made it sound much worse. It's not that bad.
I mean, it looks like a Duke. It looks like Duke University.
I was just about to say, it does remind me of like a high school or college, but I think it's it's
the
something
colors
about
are
the blue color that makes me think of, like, it feels a little juvenile, but I don't know why.
It reminds me of Duke. It reminds me of Duke or Kentucky. If you look at their colors, it's kind of like that kind of blue.
I know.
The whole uniform, though.
It's not that ugly, but it doesn't make me think Colts.
Don't put your phone down, baby. You're going to see some other ones here because the Browns are going to wear them, again, select games in the future.
Yeah.
The Seattle Seahawks, to me, are doing a cool little thing. I like their uniform because they're going to their throwback. Now, some people, like yourself even,
nice.
I don't think you know their old throwback uniform.
I don't think so.
I showed the little Jay. She's like, what is that? I'm like, that looks like it came out the late 70s, and that's exactly when it came out, right? So the Seahawks are going to wear their throwback uniforms for their Week 8 matchup against the Cleveland Browns. What's going on here? Everyone playing the Cleveland Browns with their alternate uniforms? Again, I think they should wear it more often.
Is this it?
Yep, that's the 80s,
I have to admit,
70s. That's the old school.
Clean look.
Well, that's the old. That's that again. If you guys know the late 70s when them and the Saints came in the league,
I'm sure that green
but the
came
80s,
across very differently, like on TV.
Yeah, the 80s and 90s, it was that was the uniform. So the Seahawks bringing it back to the 90s basically to these throwbacks. So there you go. There's a couple uniforms. I think the Patriots are going also with their throwbacks for a couple of games this year. We know the throwbacks. They got the what's his name? The hiker, the center kind of Patriot snapping the ball in the helmet. That's the ones they're going to go all red with the old school logo there. Yeah. So that's it. That's a little update there. Any quick thoughts on that?
Again, without a fucking doubt, the Cowboys have the best jerseys, the best alternate uniforms. It's hard to fuck up navy blue, silver, and white. Okay, and if you do, then you're doing it like on purpose, right? So let me see. So Mari Roberts, much love, saying I kind of like the Colts' new jersey.
Yeah, see, she's with you. I'm not.
So Texans have new helmets. Nobody cares inside.
Yeah. The Texans.
I think we talked about it the other
stayed
day.
Ugly.
So Bruce got the toxic juice saying it exactly. He's like, I'll miss Daniel Snyder's ineptitude with the team. So yeah, like I said, it's almost slightly disappointing to know that the new owners are going to probably handle things better than Snyder did, just because it is so amusing and so fun to see him just absolutely, completely dump all over that franchise. So
I know, I personally love it.
But for those among you who do want competition, you can look forward to Washington somehow getting even better, question mark?
Good thing is, we got the Eagles, the Giants are getting better, Washington's going to get probably a little better. Just saying, we got a great division. It's the NFC Beast, and it's here once again, not just last year. So we'll see how that happens. Now, let's slide into free agency real quick so we get to our Cowboy news. Free agency for the Cowboys. This is very relevant. This is important to note because all this is Cowboy adjacent, right? Veteran running back Leonard Fournette, a guy that we've talked about as being a possible, short yardage option, a cheaper. He worked out for the Patriots yesterday. So again, he won a Super Bowl with Tampa Bay with Tom Brady. Now his old team is taking a look, the Patriots. When he left, you know what the final verdict was? The two sides will stay in touch. But that also means they didn't get a deal done. That means there's no deal. You know what I mean? That means that he's not, really on their radar anymore. Maybe he's asking for too much. So, again, just something to keep in mind, and maybe why Leonard Fournette's still out there and why the Cowboys will not even think about going to him. Although, again, Brian Broda said linebacker, running back. Those are two positions the Cowboys may be looking at. I still say, what about guard? Give me a left guard in here. But all right. Now, another position that I know we talked about all offseason is kicker. We have Tristan Vizcaino in the house. Again, he's practice squad style, right? That's basically what he is. Then we signed Brandon Aubrey, who, again, by the way, and I don't have this for you guys to see. Man, I wish I could show it to you guys. Brandon Aubrey was out there. There was some new video of him. Actually, I'll try to get it up there. But there's a new kicker out there that's been released. Nick Folk should be out there soon from the Patriots, but right now the Lions released their kicker, Michael Bagley. He's a free agent. He joined the Lions in Week 7, and even though he kind of hurt them in the beginning, he actually proved extremely capable. He finished the year ranked 18th in field goal percentage, but he went 24 for 28 and went 2 for 3 on 50-yarders or greater. He was also nicknamed the Money Badger, of course, from the money making it, right? But he was perfect on extra points. Only one of 3 kickers to do that last year. And in his career, he's only missed 5 extra points. He's 155 out of 160. When it comes to make extra points, I'm hearing, he could be a good high floor option for the Cowboys to throw in the mix if they don't know if Aubrey's the guy. Or, they definitely know Vizcaino's not the guy.
For all that's good in this world, Jerry, please
bring
just get me
in.
someone with a little hair on their chest to kick the ball. He'll be our kicker. Please. Please, no more infants. Please, no more rookies or not rookies, but you know what I mean? Because God forbid the Cowboys actually spend a draft pick on a kicker. Anyway, sorry. Let me not be too bitter.
No, you don't sound bitter at all, baby.
Not at all. Not at all. I'm not bothered.
I was trying to find something here, but I don't
know.
think
It's
I
just
will.
like every single time we talk about the kicker position, it's just like, look at that. Another kicker available who's probably better than the guy we already have.
But again, we don't know. We don't know. I want to be fair about Aubrey. We don't really know yet, so let's see what he does. I just wish the Cowboys. Again, what I'm trying to say is there's options floating around.
I don't disagree,
There's more options.
And I would like to be fair, but
even
even you pointed out, since Dan Bailey has left this team, our kicking experiment has worked out exactly like one time. And even that one time was basically a fluke that tricked us into getting Maher again in some capacity, sort of, kind of. I guess you could... Zerline, I guess? Would you consider his a win? I consider it a win because he did give us like one solid year, but then he got hurt. Right?
No, he missed some easy kicks in his year with us, and I don't know if we re-signed him after that. We went a different route, and
I thought we had him for more than 1 year.
Sure
that's what I'm saying.
I don't think he can get it hurt though. But
okay.
he was with the Jets. I think he was at the Jets the next year, if I'm not mistaken. I think he was with us 1 year.
Okay.
Went to the Jets, and still with the Jets. Actually doing pretty good with them. Isn't that funny?
Of course.
Yeah.
That's the other thing we don't talk about. All the players who suck with us and then leave, and
somehow
then
they're so good somewhere else, right?
Anyway, let's kind of roll it back here.
Yeah. So,
like I said, I don't want to spend too much time crying over the kicker.
If I get a chance, maybe tomorrow. Tomorrow I'll show you the new video of the kicker. It sounds.
I said tomorrow I'll cry over the kicker. I'm like, well, damn.
No, it does sound. Again, I have to take a look at the video again. It was a real quick clip. It looked like he was trying to do kickoffs more than hit the extra point. More than hit the field goals, but.
All right.
He was trying to keep him centered and distant. So hopefully that continues. He gets better at that. Now, another not free agent, but another player that could have been available for the Cowboys is Denzel Mims. Now, I say this only because the Jets were planning on releasing him yesterday if they could not find a trade partner first, right? He was a 2020 second-round pick, wants to get a fresh start somewhere else. Now, we talked about him last year as a possibility. I just thought that the Cowboys wouldn't really pull the trigger on a trade for him. Jets not release him at the end of the day. Yesterday, towards the end of the day, they did not end up releasing Denzel Mims, and they still, even though they informed him of his plans of trading him, because that's the whole thing, guys, there still was some trade partners. And that's the crazy thing, guys. The Jets had previously, in the past, had exploratory talks with our Dallas Cowboys in a potential interest in a trade. And then last night, that was something to keep an eye on. Yesterday evening, well, he remains on their roster. On their roster, he might have been cut. He might have been, out there for a trade. Then it broke last night. The Jets ended up trading Denzel Mims to the Detroit Lions. It's a pick swap, guys, for the Jets and Lions in 2025. Once the trade is officially gone through, Detroit sends a conditional 6th-round pick in exchange for a 7th-rounder. They say it's 2-7. It says switch. It says 7th rounder for 7th rounder. If he plays a certain amount of percentages, that 7th rounder will turn to a 6th rounder for the Jets. So they got a 7th rounder guaranteed, maybe as best a 6th rounder. I'm sorry, so they give away a 7th rounder at the very least, maybe a 6th rounder if he does really well with the Lions. But that's basically, it was either that or have to go into a trade, into a bidding war with other teams in the NFL if he was cut. So that's what made the deal go through. I guess the Cowboys are trying to give away an undrafted pick. I'm joking, obviously, but just saying, like, how could the Cowboys have given less if they were involved in trade talks? I don't know. Anyways.
Maybe they were saying you have to give us a draft pick.
Yeah, it should
Instead.
be. Now, I don't know if,
I'm joking, of course.
Last couple of quick comments, because now we're going to go full blast Cowboy news.
So Chris Plumer is just saying, God dang, we are getting closer to another football season.
Hell yeah, a couple of days away, basically. 24th. They're there, they're getting their physicals, they're checking in.
So, God Plan, what's up? Much love. Dirty South MVP in the house. Mike Aldana representing said, right? Exactly. He always means go Cowboys every time he says that. So, but yeah. And Rolando Rodriguez said, you remember last year MCF, the kickers in training camp were very bad. Why do the Cowboys keep doing this insanity?
I don't know. It's almost like they don't want to learn. They're trying to find their guy and then say, look, we found this new young guy and he's going to be with us for 20 years. I don't know. That's what it feels like. So, NFL news. Let's start a little light here. Cowboy news. Osa Odigizua said this, quote, until you work as hard as those who you admire, don't try to explain their success with luck. Interesting. You see him busting ass out there, working hard. I see him there with the trench warfare. He's in there doing his work. So I'm expecting to see a lot from Osa. He was doing.
I'm saying some guys don't get lucky, but I like that type of mentality, right? Put your nose to the grindstone. Work for
and that's what he's been doing at this offseason. We got to see him in his third year here really kind of progress. But NFLPA released this interesting kind of thing that he did. That guys that, what are they doing in the offseason? They kind of checked on this NFL Player Association, and they said big ups to Osa, who flexed his off-the-field talents in the Miami Swim Week fashion show this month. So again, guys, he was showing again. He was over there wearing a lot of different kind of swimwear. Yeah, just modeling, doing something fun here. So again, just cool for Osa, doing hard work right in the off season, and then even modeling a little bit. DeMarcus Lawrence, he's getting ready for some football here, of course, and we talked about him the last couple of days, the Madden rankings and all that. There he is. DeMarcus Lawrence is heading to Oxnard a little earlier. He's heading on Friday, 3 days early, to get settled in with his family before the team arrives on the 24th. He spent part of the final day in Plano, Texas at PXG, which is a golfing kind of location there. He gets golf clubs custom fitted. And that's what he was doing today. In his 10th year, of course, he said, quote, I'm excited to step into this new year with my body fresh. I'm ready to go. Again, I don't want to say it, but is this the healthiest he's ever been? The best shape he's ever been? This is the time of season we hear those quotes, so I figured I'd make a joke and repeat it. So there you go, DeMarcus Lawrence ready for some action there in training camp. He's healthy, ready to go. Now, we all know about Dak Prescott situation this weekend in Atlanta, the ATL. Gotta love what Dak did with the crew there, bringing the Will Grier, bringing all of the all the tight ends but Hendershot and all the receivers. I mean, I think even Brandon Cooks was there. All of them were there. So Dak Prescott set this thing up. We keep saying he's a born leader. That's you ask Carson Wentz if he's done these things. The answer is no. But I just want to say one quick thing about this whole situation that was there. He brought in a certain group here, guys. It's a O2X. He brought them in to, quote, assist in developing a culture of excellence. So what is O2X? They're the world leader in human performance for tactical athletes.
Okay.
So they just go through like a lot of rigorous stuff. And again,
so they're like a conditioning company for athletes or something.
Basically,
to keep them in like peak physical condition or something.
And that's what they were there listening to their stories and how to stay healthy. Other things they were talking about there. I mean, there's other footage and other clips of those guys there. But in the end, guys, it's a good bonding experience, practice experience, timing. And getting these, quick. You don't see any video because I'll give away their routes. I'll give away the plays because they all have their playbook. This is partially also studying. I want to make sure. I know my guy Voodoo Alpha says I want to see them studying. This is them studying. They're studying and trying different things out that's in the playbook. Situations that may occur. You know what I'm saying? On the field. So this is kind of going through the playbook and getting the timing set up with Dak and the receivers. Tight ends like Ferguson and others. So just good to see that from this crew here. And again, guys, it wasn't just about working hard and throwing drills. And, all these things. Also camaraderie, chemistry growing, the bond that this team is getting, and, a little fun in the sun, relaxation here. See them on the golf cart. But you also see them here. Looks like they're playing a video game, some kind of video game, or doing something, because they're definitely into this. And, of course, they're on the lake. I think it was Lake Auckland. I said it in the video. I forgot what it is now. But, they were out there, rafting. There's Dak and MG, third team. Michael Gallup hitting the water there as McEwen, tight end, stays on. And then the whole crew there. All of them from this little weekend getaway in Atlanta. So just wanted to say, O2X heavily involved in this little kind of bonding experience. And I think it's again, guys, it's about the culture of excellence is what they were bringing to this situation. That's what they said. They thanked Dak for that, for letting them come in there and try to bring a culture of excellence. Hopefully the players, Dak and the offense responds on their side of things when it comes to this. Now, how is Terrence Steele? He was not involved, of course. He's offensive lineman. Offensive lineman went on this. It was only skill positions situations, but the big guys in the inside, Terrence Steele. Terrence Steele, guys, is showing a new video. Look at this. Look at him moving. No brace. He's showing his lateral mobility before training camp right now. This is came out yesterday. I love it. Coming back from this injury, Terrence Steele continues to show that he's looking good on the way back to the field. Terrence Steele just the other day insisted, actually in May and in June, but also in July, insisted a couple of times throughout these last couple of months that he has felt great this whole time. He's feeling like he's way ahead of schedule. Going by this video, again, guys, no brace on that right leg. No wrap. I'm sorry, on the left leg. No wrap on that left leg. I expect him to be on the PUP list physically.
It definitely makes me feel much more confident about it. I'll give you that.
I do expect him to be on it to start off. I have a lot of more confidence. It's about week 1 to me. I have more confidence seeing this kind of video here that Terrence Steele will be ready for week 1. That's a big need right there. I just say, I'm not saying he's going to definitely be there. He's definitely ahead of schedule. Will he be there in time? We'll see. But the point is, it's far from impossible, all right, of this happening. It's definitely a real possibility that Terrence Steele is there for week 1, which is very important to have the cohesiveness and the best 5 on the field. We need Terrence Steele for that. So, again, right now, that's where he's at. And any quick thoughts on this from you, baby, or from the chat?
So, Frame Ripper said, you really need a program to teach you how to bond? I guess in the age, so many youths are coming from households where people are now more at home. Like, I learned today how bad youths are with social soft skills. So,
well, I don't think you learn. I think about learning to bond.
About, first, yes. I do think that social skills might be still a little bit lacking in the younger generation, although, with the Rona and other things, you can see how maybe that put a bump in the road. But outside of that, it's less about bonding in a general sense and specifically about bonding together as a team.
Yeah, you gotta remember, we have some new guys out there. We got some rookies out there. So voodoo. You gotta try somewhere, right? You gotta start somewhere.
It's like any other kind of team performance or team situation. Again, you as an individual, obviously you're bringing your skill set and stuff to the table, but you have to learn the dance routine or you have to learn the whatever it is, and it usually does involve some manner of kind of ebb and flow with the players you're there with or the people you're there with, right?
I agree. Listen,
football is a choreographed dance just like any other thing in a way.
Dak has done this before. Remember, guys, Dak did this for fishing trips with the offense, and they would bond there. It's not, they didn't need anybody to teach them how to bond, voodoo. So, but it was more, they added another element. It was about like this, I guess maybe a perspective for some of the guys who've never gotten to this level yet in the NFL. Schoonmaker. You can go to Brooks, Jalen Brooks, our last pick there of the draft of the 7th round there. You can go with, some of the undrafted receivers that are there, of course. Even young guys like Ferguson and Hendershot was there, but Ferguson and even McEwen. I don't know how often he's been involved in their little get-togethers. It hasn't been many. He's been moving up a little bit on the depth chart from the last couple of years. Will Greer involved. You want to get one of your backup third stringer right now, but maybe is he going to beat Cooper Rush out? Will Greer's over there busting ass with Dak. So it's all these guys, quarterbacks to the receivers, getting in tune and getting on the same page with them. I think that is a major, major key. Oh! And Gary Stokes on the board as a Navy Blue Crew membership. Why? Because of the man staying skeptical, adding another one on the board, staying in first place with that lovely gifted membership. Baby, what? Any comments in there from Skeptical Fan? Much love to him and appreciate him for that drop there.
I know what he's got to say.
What does he say?
Go Cowboys.
Hell yeah.
Thank you so much, Skeptical. Appreciate you. Gary Stokes, congrats, man. Always good to see you here in the house.
Appreciate that. Much love for the drop there. For the man staying skeptical. I'm going to update the board, by the way. But, I mean, again, I do want to just kind of, finish on the comment when it comes to that. I think it's good to have, I don't know if it's I don't know what they exactly went into teaching and training. You can go to their sites, a lot of military kind of mindset stuff there. So it could be something more related to military kind of, work.
Honestly,
in a sense
it
of
could just be like a general mental and physical toughness thing.
Yeah. They didn't go into details with it, but we do know they kind of work on that kind of stuff with this program. So it's just not bonding like the bond. It's bonding with work.
As bonding the same way that Micah taking everybody boxing.
Yeah, exactly. Very good.
It's a physical activity they're doing that they are, bonding over. Man, if I say the word bonding one more time, I'm going to have to bond my mouth shut here.
Bond.
So anyway, real quick, let me go ahead and hit up a few comments here real quick in the chat. Dr. Football said, last year was the bonding and the playing on Dak's field. It didn't work. I'm not buying the hype show in the playoffs. No,
let me explain. I agree. I mean, we're not going to win a Super Bowl because of this. But the bond, we did it with Dak did it with a fishing trip 2 years ago. Last year was the Dak field. Listen, this year is a Dak field. They've been on the Dak field all the time. It's not like there's a foolproof plan to win, guys. It's not like if you do this, you're going to win a Super Bowl. It's just you got to get the new guys under your wings. You got to get the new guys in the routine of the plays. That's what this is. I mean, Dak calls it a bonding moment. Of course, it's bonding because you're all hanging out, you're playing, you're hanging out, you're having fun, and then you're also working hard together with the right mindset together. That's what I think we got to focus on. It's not okay. Carson Wentz never did that shit. Do you see how there's no bonding or timing with his receivers? He ain't doing these things, taking special time out of his, taking time out to make sure that they're all on the same page, not at the end of training camp, before training camp. So we've seen this in the past. I think we got better talent now, especially with the starters. So I think we're going to see a better, situation on the field. That's just me. Much love to Skeptical Fan, by the way. 39 gifted memberships. He's almost at 4-0. We've never hit that number here since we've had the gifting memberships. So that much love and appreciate you. Now, any other quick thoughts maybe before I get out of this? Because we got some more to talk about. It's going to be Madden style.
Yeah, so real quick, Bruce got the toxic juice, said bond. James bond.
He wants you to say it again.
So Time Montoya said it's just getting to know each other and bonding, nothing else.
Exactly. And there's some timing stuff on those passing sessions that they had.
So let me see here. Now let's keep going.
All right. So we're going to a little bit of Madden football here. Madden. We know we got the grades coming out. We know Trayvon Diggs. Let's see where I'm located at, right? So the cornerbacks came out today. The top rated cornerbacks, and of course the top 10 list came out. And one of the guys that showed up there was not. Well, was it? Was it or not? Jalen Ramsey was rated number 1 in Madden at cornerback with a 97 rating. Jerry Alexander 95. Patrick Surtain 94, Sauce Gardner 93, Marlon Humphrey 93, Darius Slay 92. And then we got ourselves a Stephon Gilmore appearance, guys. Yes. He popped on the scene as the 8th best cornerback rated by the ratings, I guess, of Madden with a overall 91. So he's our number 1 technically. A 91. Lattimore had a 90, Tre'Davious White had a 90, and Denzel Ward at 10th had an 88 rating. Well, where's my guy here, Trayvon Diggs? I'll tell you in a minute. First, Brandon James Shea in the house said, "Go Cowboys!" Even Patrick Holmes is the best quarterback in the league. What did Brandon James Shea have to say?
He said, "Veteran offensive lineman Dennis Kelly is signing with the Eagles."
There you go. Good little inside note there from a low-level depth.
So the Eagles can add O-line depth, but we can't.
Yeah, exactly. I knew that was coming. It feels dirty that's happening, but yeah, I mean, they're making moves, and that's Howie Roseman. That's the difference in that front office side of things when it comes to pushing the trigger and getting that deal done. It's Howie Roseman gets it done, and when he sees something he wants, he gets it.
So
we play around.
Frame Rippers again. I don't think it's like the guy whatever thing they were doing was literally sitting there showing them how to hold hands in kumbaya. Again, it's the equivalent of them going go-karting or laser tagging or it's just a thing they all did together. I mean, they paid money for it, but again, they paid money to go laser tag.
But the bonding is not just sitting there talking; they're actually working.
It's like doing something.
It's a mental
together.
Exercise and a physical exercise. It's a military kind of training. So it's two different, areas it's hitting you up with, and it helps.
I don't know about you, but that is like the last thing I want to do with any of my friends.
I agree,
and,
but that's
side note, if I was on a football team, still the last thing I would.
But that's what Dak and these guys that came with them did at this little 3-day weekend retreat. I mean, it's okay if you don't like someone's work ethic or something like this, but it's another thing to it's just, it's not hurting to do this, and I'm 100% cool with it. Anything that can help is good for me, for this team. Now, back to by the way, thank you, Brandon, and I got you on that board there. I think he's in 5th place on the overall board currently right now, Navy Blue crew member right there. So this whole list of top 10, there was Stephon Gilmore as 8th best, but he was actually 7th best, my fault. So where's Trayvon Diggs? 11th was A.J. Terrell with an 87 rating, and then right there with also an 87 rating at 12th is Trayvon Diggs. So they had him tied at 12th, basically tied a 11th place for him. Kendall Fuller also had 11. Shavarius Ward had an 87 rating as well. He was 14th on the list. And 15th, Chidobe Awuzie. Just funny to hear Stephon Gilmore was a Cowboy at 7. At 12, Trayvon Diggs, who's currently a Cowboy. Shavarius Ward, formerly a Cowboy, 14th. Chidobe Awuzie, they got him ranked 15th. Interesting. I had a little high on him. But by the way, what did Trayvon Diggs think about these rankings? He actually put his 2 cents out there. He said, quote, 87 overall, throw your whole game away. I'm not fucking with it. So, looks like Trayvon Diggs not very happy. Kind of upset about this rating. Micah made a comment, said Madden definitely makes you earn these ratings, so just do good throughout the year, and everyone's ratings go up. But I will say Stephon Diggs was rated number 1 in something on Madden, and that was in catching the football. Remember, he kind of plays that wide receiver mindset, so he was number 1.
But you said Stephon. You mean
Trayvon? I'm sorry, Trayvon Diggs.
Sure,
yes, you're right. No, thank you.
Again, but the thing is, you said Stephon because in your mind you're thinking about catching
receiver.
the ball.
So I was going to receiver. That's the thing, because Trayvon Diggs was a receiver starting out in college and high school into college. He has that mindset, right? So he has soft hands. He knows how to make the catches. Number 1 rated cornerback when it comes to catching the ball, Trayvon Diggs with an 86 rating in that category. Number 1 out of all the cornerbacks. So at least he got number 1 there. I'll give him that at least there, right? Madden. Now, there's been some disrespect out there on our Micah Parsons, in my opinion, guys.
Tommy Montoya in the house. He's dropping his membership message there.
Hell yeah.
Representing for 2 months.
Much love.
A Navy Blue member.
Go Cowboys. And I think that was delivered by either Jason Renfro or Skeptical fans. So appreciate you, Tommy Montoya. Hey, you can still chill and you can join up for this whole season. You can join up for, a higher level. Appreciate you, Tommy Montoya in the house, repping that Navy Blue Silver and that star over everything. We want 6. We want 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. So, much love there, Tommy Montoya. And let's talk about Micah Parsons here real quick, baby, because Micah Parsons, disrespected on Madden, let's just say. Okay, of course, he was the 3rd highest edge rusher. But when you have the fastest, linebackers and defensive linemen in Madden, and the elite guys are all rated in the 93 to 88 range, ranking-wise, a speed category. The Eagles' Nolan Smith was ranked 93rd. I'm sorry, not 90. He was ranked with a 93 rating. Micah Parsons had a 92 rating. So, again, he had an 87 strength, which is fantastic, but he had a 92 speed compared to Nolan Smith at 93. Now, look, Nolan Smith is good, don't get me wrong, but that's disrespectful. Nolan hasn't played a snap in the NFL as a rookie, and he's already faster than Micah Parsons on the football field in the NFL? Come on. That's bullshit. But either way, no matter what, guess what, baby? Micah Parsons was working hard. Check this out. Here he's doing these, this is called what? Gorilla chin pull-ups.
Oh, boy.
He's struggling there. But wait till you see the next picture, the next video here, guys. I mean, he was passing out. He's working out hard ahead of training camp.
Yeah, that I know just...
Micah's not taking any days off. Look at this. I mean, he is here dying. This is at the end of the thing. This is after. He's just throwing his arms forward. I don't even think he's even... Look at his face, guys. I mean, he is struggling.
Looks like one of those little inflatable noodle things.
The wind's blowing it.
Yeah.
Oh, poor Micah. So, again, but you know what I love? Guess who's not taking any damn days off?
Micah.
Micah F Parsons. I say F because he's going to fuck you up. Micah, fuck you up, Parsons, guys. And I'm telling you right there, Micah is not messing around this year or any year, really. I can't wait to see him bring it all on that field when he is, training camp, great. We know what he's going to do. They don't even need nothing in training camp. Just bring it when he's in that game week 1 and beyond to the Super Bowl. This guy's going to give it his every single effort and ounce of effort he can give. Just think about it, guys. Put up getting closer to 255. He's ready to take a little more hits. He's playing a little linebacker here and there, but he's still keeping his velocity, his speed, his acceleration. I cannot wait. So when you look at this defense, right? This defense, of course, Dan Quinn is the coach. Micah is the heart of this thing. He's what makes this whole thing go. NFL on ESPN, guys. They finally said something good about the Cowboys in a way. Specifically, a guy who's really been good with us, and that's Ryan Clark. Remember, Ryan Clark, it's funny. Ryan Clark was working with Damone Clark on his coverage ability at linebacker, right? Here's what he said. Here's what Ryan Clark said on the potential of this Cowboy defense. Quote, sitting right here, right before training camp starts, and I believe they have a chance to be the best defense in the entire NFL. End quote. And I am right there with Ryan Clark. I agree. He knows firsthand he's dealing with Damone Clark in coverage. And he has a defensive back school, a defensive backs, training facility. And who's over there busting ass in coverage? It's Damone Clark, our linebacker. I gotta love that. And again, he knows, by ESPN's kind of ratings, they give the Cowboys a 29% chance to win the NFC East. The only team higher with them to win the East is the Eagles, of course. Not far in front, but still, that's the way they look at it. So, Cowboy rookies and veterans reporting to camp on Tuesday. This is his thoughts on our defense before he even hits the field. And I agree. Can anybody really disagree?
Co-signed. I was going to say, yeah, it's hard to, I think, disagree with that statement there.
You go.
So, Stephen White, again, as far as Micah being the middle linebacker, again, just in general at linebacker, I think we're going to see a tiny bit more of that this year. Not sure if specifically at middle linebacker, though. Just throwing that out there. Really just depends on what Quinn is feeling.
I think LV is your middle linebacker. He's your Mike linebacker. I think you're going to have the Damone Clark playing the second linebacker, whether it's weak side or the Will or the I forgot the other one. I can't forget. I can't believe I forgot. The Sam, the strong side linebacker. No matter which one it is, I think that we'll be fine with Damone Clark doing that role and occasionally bringing in like a Jabril Cox or Overshown when he gets some snaps. Micah won't be there too much. I do think, though, you're going to see Micah kind of floating around sometimes. Maybe he's the third linebacker that's going to blitz. So, that's where I think you'll see Micah being used by Dan Quinn. Now, I just want to say one last thing here. They're telling him let's go. I just want to say one last thing on this on the pull-ups. Mm-hmm. I said he's 255. Right now, it's saying there, quote, Thursday morning work. This was today, guys, this morning. 250 pounds, meaning that's how much he weighs. 250, doing gorilla chin pull-ups. So, again, pretty amazing he can do that at that size. But that's the point, guys. He is overworking himself to be ready to roll and dominate in a 6-month period here
I feel
in the
like
NFL.
That should just be Micah's tagline. Pretty amazing that he can do that.
It's pretty much what he does constantly. So
I agree. Frame Ripper's asking, how's Mr. Cox doing?
Well, again, we'll see more. He was supposedly looking, according to Mike McCarthy, him, Sam Williams, Jalen Tolbert, all looking a lot better this year around in camp. Whatever the reason, it's coaching on the offensive side. It's easier. The scheme, I know that's one of the big things for all the players, for Tolbert especially. But when it comes to Jabril Cox, it's about the whole year being removed from his torn ACL, similar to Michael Gallup, let's just say. Michael Gallup's going to look a lot better this year. Mike McCarthy stated that because of that knee, it really slowed him down last year, even though he was back on the field. I remember Cox didn't even play didn't even have any training camp sessions because he couldn't get on that field because he was still having some issues with the knee, even into training camp. So obviously not a full season like Gallup in that way. So I think this year is the expectation he's ready to take the next step. That's what I'm hearing. Outside of that, we gotta wait and see. Let's wait and see in training camp, right?
I would say he's also one of those guys that's like kind of on a bit of a not a razor's edge, but he has something to play for this year too if he wants to remain a Dallas Cowboy.
Exactly. So rolling into the final parts of things. I mean, we're still in the Madden side. So let me quickly go through this. They did the tight ends as well. I'll go through them real quick because guess who didn't have a tight end there? The Dallas Cowboys. No Ferguson, no Hendershot, and of course no Luke Schoonmaker. But there was also no Dalton Schultz. Sorry, Lee Side Harold, no Dalton Schultz on the top 10 list of tight ends on Madden. They said Travis Kelce, George Kittle, Mark Andrews, the top 3. T.J. Hawkinson, 4. Dallas Goedert, 5th. Kyle Pitts, 6th. Cleveland Browns said, yeah. Darren Waller with the Giants, 7th. Pat Freiermuth from the Steelers is 8th. David Njoku, by the way, he's the guy, I keep forgetting his name, Njoku from the Browns. I think he got a steal there at $14 million. He got the best deal you can get at tight end before it really went down at like $14 million a year. So Njoku, with an 84 overall, he was tied in 9th and 10th place there with Evan Ingram, who just signed that deal with the Jacksonville Jaguars. He's also 84. So again, no Dalton Schultz. Of course, no Ferguson, no Hendershot, no Luke Schoonmaker in the Madden world. Now, what about running backs? All right, because we got to talk about running backs here. And, of course, yesterday, talked a lot about Tony Pollard, or not yesterday, 2 days ago, and his now explosive rehab he's having with this it just really measures the explosiveness. He's going to be blocking back there. He's going to be running into people. He needs to get that right foot fully healed, which I think he's ready to go. We talk about Terrence Steele. We know that it might take a little longer for I guess Terrence Steele would take a little longer into the month, but it was more Tony Pollard, he seems more ready to go as well to get in that field.
Yeah, which again, at least all of our slightly beat up guys are trending positively as of now.
Exactly. So, look, when you look at this list of the running backs in Madden, Nick Chubb got the first rating, number 1, 97. Christian McCaffrey, he was 2nd. Josh Jacobs, Derrick Henry, Saquon Barkley, Dalvin Cook, who's not on the team. Austin, he was, by the way, 5th on this list. 6th on the list. Austin Eckler, 7th. Jonathan Taylor, 8th. Tony Pollard was 9th, and last was Aaron Jones. But Tony Pollard got basically tied for 9th with Aaron Jones. That's about where a lot of people are putting him anyways for this year, even though the Cowboys are paying $10.1 million for him, which is a little higher than 9th. Still, you can understand why the people want to see more from him before they give him the top 5 kind of ratings, which he may be at next year. So one last thing I want to say, when it comes to speed, they had Tony Pollard at the 8th spot there with a 93 rating in speed. So they, still a top 10 in speed and overall for Tony Pollard. And hey, look, he's injured, coming off the injury, he'll be all right. He's going to be the first year as a full-time running back, no Zeke there. So that's why I think he's a little bit on the lower top 10 than the middle top 10, let's just say. You know what I mean? So that's the Tony Pollard story there across the board.
No, and honestly, I think for what Pollard has done, it makes sense. This is one of those few times where you can't really judge a player off of their potential. You do have to judge them based off of what they actually did on paper. And I do think that's a distinguishing factor there, too.
Which
similar
to what happened to CeeDee
might
Lamb.
be able to maybe, I guess, move his way up that list, so to speak, depending on his performance this year. But realistically speaking, we've said it before, he will always still be Tony Pollard with his particular skill sets and all the good and bad that comes with that. So
yeah, I mean we'll see it.
Yeah. By the way, no, I did want to hit up a quick comment here or two. Lisa, I'm not sure who you think is going to be back, but
I think I was talking about Dalton Schultz.
Oh, well, okay, good luck with that. I guess
he'll be back to the top 15 list.
So, Graham Rippers is saying if the Cowboys can show 3 coverage linebackers on throwing downs, it'll be nasty. Curse, Cox, and Overshown. It'll be fun to see. And that's
that's great you noticed that because, again, even we talked about the safety kind of list and the fact that J-Ron Curse was pretty pissed about that and saying, they don't even respect us and all that stuff. But, Curse can play that linebacker spot. Donovan Wilson can play that linebacker spot. You got Overshown who can play that linebacker spot. All guys that can probably hit and cover. They're heavy hitters. They're also coverage guys. And then you got Jabril. Jabril Cox is a guy who I think is got to take that step now. It's time for him, or he's going to be pushed back to this list. Any opportunities will be diminished. So he has to have a strong training camp. Number 14, Jabril Cox. We'll keep an eye on that. We'll keep an eye on Cox. Maybe you guys can. How about
just
that?
Just the one
eye? They could keep their eye on Cox. Oh. But we're watching Jabril Cox this offseason. This training camp, to make sure where does he fall in this depth? Because that's the biggest issue, I think, on defense. That's why you're hearing some people saying, maybe we should get a linebacker to add to our core because after LVE with the neck, after Damone Clark with the neck, who's next? Who's stepping up? A rookie Overshown, a guy who hasn't shown anything like Jabril Cox yet. I know we use safeties down there. We know they can do the job, but we can't rely on them full. We need some other linebackers that can fill in there. Devin Harper, our 6th-round pick last year. I don't know. I'm just throwing out names. It's kind of weak after you get past those guys. So,
but yeah, no, let's go ahead and keep it rolling here.
Let's keep it going. The final Final, I guess you could say the final Madden player we have to discuss here is the guy that we have to discuss as the main topic of discussion tonight across the board in every single way, and that is, of course, Zack Martin, the offensive line. So how did things work out here for Zack Martin? Cowboys, Zack Martin, as far as Madden is concerned, he is now officially a member of the Madden 99 Club. Yes, Madden 24, he's part of the 99 rated player crew there, which is very, very few. That's the highest rating possible, of course, in the game. Zack Martin becomes the first guard in the 99 Club since the Cowboys' Larry Allen back in Madden 2003. It's just funny. The last guard,
big deal.
The last guard that got a 99, not on the Cowboys anywhere, was Larry Allen. So it's just funny that the last two guards to get 99 in Madden are both Cowboys.
I don't think it's a coincidence at all. Again, since way back in the day, the Cowboys have always been a more run-focused team than others, and obviously can't run without having a solid offensive line. So I'm just saying, like, we can talk crap to Jerry about a lot of things, but thankfully, for the most part, and in general, overall sense, O-line has been a priority, even if it hasn't worked out the way that we expected. Now,
after the first round, they don't really work out at all. But the first round picks, they are Hall of Famers, almost all of them. So overall rating for Zack Martin, 99 is his overall rating, but for strength, he has 97. For awareness, a 99. Run blocking, 98. Pass blocking, a 95. And toughness, 96. So elite across the board, as always. And he even changed his profile picture to the Madden 24 99 Club picture. He said he kind of liked it. He said, hashtag new profile pic. The other thing that's funny, though, about Zack Martin, is that he never, ever tweets. He tweeted about the SpongeBob comment, then he tweeted about this Madden thing, and then the announcement came. I'll explain in a minute. But first, let me just say one last thing. In the ratings, 16th best, the 16th best offensive lineman, I guess you can say, Tyron Smith, with a rating of an 89. So just a hair under elite. So he was 16th ranked, by the way. So again, Zack Martin, number 1, Tyron Smith, number 16 on the offensive line. So just wanted to throw that in there. But let's talk about the big deal, the big news, Zack Martin. What's the question with him? We know on the thumbnail you see the question about Terrence Steele. How is he doing? It looks like a little more positive, maybe making that week 1 start. Knock on wood. It's going to start as in the PUP, guys. He's not going to start off, he's not going to start off as a regular guy. He's going to start off not being able to practice for a little bit, but he's gearing up for week 1. What about Zack Martin? What's going on? Everything was fine, right? And then all of a sudden, after the Madden thing was announced, 99, after the top 25 dominating players thing was announced the day before, we literally were here talking about it. That's when Cowboys 6-time All-Pro guard and team captain Zack Martin let out the information that he's considering not reporting to the Cowboys training camp in Oxnard due to, why? Why is this? Because he's unhappy with his contract and the Cowboys' lack of interest in restructuring it. He believes that he is, quote, woefully underpaid relative to the market, end quote. And that is, listen, you guys may hate this. You guys may not think that's like him. You guys may think that's like, that's just because, everyone's going for their money. No. He's going for what he truly deserved. We got a steal on the deal with him. And then the money went up. Here's the thing, guys. He's scheduled to make about $7 million less this year than the top paid offensive guards. So on principle, Zack Martin has a reason to be upset about this here, right? He's earning $13.5 million this year, while the Colts left guard, the Indianapolis Colts, Quentin Nelson, signed an extension last year that averages $20 million per year. The Falcons right guard, Chris Lindstrom, signed a deal in March that averages $20.5 million per year. How much is his average per year? $14 million. This is a Hall of Famer. Still playing at Hall of Fame level. I know he may be around almost done. He's still at that level, though. So a person very close to the situation said that Zack Martin's contract his demands, would not alter his cap numbers too much this year, which is right now at $11.04 million. And for next year, currently, $23.3 million is the cap hit next year. But he just wants to be paid near the top at his position. He doesn't even want to be number 1. He just wants to be paid to be near at that top of the best. His average salary would have to go up. Right now, the average salary is $14 million. These guys have 20 and 20.5. Now, did they do their deals after Zack Martin? Yes. Can I ask you a question, though? Don't owners fire players when in their contracts when they don't, like Zeke? They cut them, right?
Yeah.
So players are allowed, and people don't like this. Players should play on their contract.
And players do this to basically null out or void out the guaranteed money or other clauses.
Right, they get in trouble
all the time.
Yeah, they get in, well. That's also another. They violate a rule. That's they deserve to pay the price. But what I'm trying to say is that when you have like owners, and again, it helps the team, so no one gets mad about it when they cut Zeke and they're like, "Well, we saved money and fuck Zeke, we don't need him anymore." That's what people say that. But they get mad when it's the other way around. You can't, guys. You cannot get mad. Get mad at Jerry Jones for treating Zeke like shit because they had a contract in place. Contracts don't mean shit. If you play badly, you get cut. If you play better than your contract, you get a raise. That's how it goes for your guys' jobs. That's how it goes for Zack Martin. And he deserves it. Now, do I want to see him get paid all this money? I really don't, because that hurts the team. But can I get mad at him for doing this? Of course, it's idiotic to say, you don't shut up, Zack Martin, you can't do this. Now, is it bad timing? See, Skeptical Fan made a comment on thanks earlier. I agree, it is bad timing for this. It sucks, but that's exactly what Zack Martin is. Why do you think he's doing this at bad timing, right before training? Why do you think it works? Because it's bad timing for the Cowboy team. So, again, guys, when it comes to Zack Martin, when you see him being involved on Instagram the last couple of days, that's kind of Instagram and Twitter to me, guys. I mean, I don't know if it's a connection to this, but this is the first time he's been on Twitter or Instagram since Travis Frederick retired. First time he's posted anything.
Yeah, I think I mentioned it when I did my very short live stream there, but he's not really one for actually interacting on social media, like on a very personal level. So all of a sudden this week he's like talking to Travis Frederick, he's posting.
He wasn't talking. He had again, when Travis Frederick retired, that's when he retweeted. The last time he retweeted or posted anything was back 4 years ago. It was the last time he tweeted anything. Yeah. And it was about Travis Frederick's retirement. So that's why the next thing was SpongeBob and then Madden 99, literally back-to-back days. And then the reports literally right after that come out. Now, I don't know if that's... Look, it could just be coincidence. Who knows? But all we know, this is what we know, guys. Both sides did have brief discussions at the scouting combine in February about trying to get a deal, a restructured deal, give him more money. Zack Martin... Also, again, I got to reiterate the way it was said. I want to make sure it's clear. But he did not practice during organized team activities or minicamp, but he was there. I think you had mentioned on the video that he wasn't there. He was there, but he didn't practice. He didn't practice because it was injury, Veteran Day kind of stuff, right? So he didn't practice when he was asked about it.
I said he didn't participate.
Yeah, I know. Well, okay, I know. Look, the point is I wanted to make sure it's clarified that he was there. He was not like skipping minicamp. Or, he was there for the mandatory minicamp. He was there for the OTAs. He just did not partake in any of the practice drills. He was dealing with that soft tissue, quote-unquote, injury, right? Mm-hmm. So he was dealing with a minor soft tissue injury. He said, quote, just trying to be smart, making sure I get to training camp feeling good and ready to rock. That was an end quote. That's what he had said back, in June. At minicamp, at the OTAs. And that's why he didn't take active snaps in any of that. It wasn't a holdout. This sounds a little bit more kind of, they were trying to work something out, and it didn't work out. And throughout this whole time, through the last 5 weeks, so Zack Martin's like, okay, here I go. I'm drawing the line in the sand now. Hopefully not in Cabo. But the point is that per the CBA, the collective bargaining agreement, an unexcused late reporting or an absence from training camp by a player under contract faces a fine of $50,000 per day. Not that much, but when you start missing a day, 2 days, 2 weeks, now it starts to take a chunk out of your wallet there, guys. Those fines, again, cannot be reduced in their amount. They cannot be waived by the team. In the past holdouts, like we said in the old CBA, the teams could eventually waive the fines as part of a negotiation process.
They usually use that as another bargaining chip.
Exactly. The owners would to okay, we'll give us this and we'll take off the fines that you got to pay. And so, now you can't do that anymore because the fines are levied by the NFL, not by the teams anymore. While the Cowboys fly to Oxnard, California on Monday, the actual day of reporting is Tuesday. So even if a player's not there on Monday, July 24th, the 25th is when they do the physicals and they do all the reporting. They got to check in and say, I'm here. If they're not there on the 23rd, on the 24th, they will land on the 24th, and they'll get to their respective hotels and situations and settled in, but they don't check in till the following day on the 25th, the 26th. They go on the field and just, do some warm-ups and some walkthroughs. So just want to let you guys know that's the situation. So really the day that Zack Martin first gets fined, it's not Monday the 24th. It'd be Tuesday the 25th. $50,000 a day. So,
all right.
So we're all,
so we can keep track.
Yeah, all 55 people in the house know this now, right? We're all on the same page here. Now, not such for the Cowboys. That's any player, including Saquon Barkley and others. Now, Saquon, I don't think, signed the tag. So I don't think he actually gets to be fined because he's not under contract. But Zack Martin is. So now let's just finish with Zack Martin here, guys, because that's kind of the end of tonight's stream. So get your last thoughts in, your last, drops of love, whatever you want, as we and I want to know your thoughts on here too, baby, and for the chat, because this is about the discussion. But I'm laying you out my final thoughts here. Zack Martin's contract expires at the end of the 2024 season. He's got this year, he's got next year. Mm-hmm. All right?
And that's it.
Here's the key, though, baby. Here's the key. I think this is the biggest sticking point. He has no guaranteed money left on his deal. He gets injured, he gets cut, he's done. So if the Cowboys give him more guaranteed money in 2023 and also in 2024 in his contract, I think they'll get a deal worked out sooner than later. And, the problem with this, though, right? Oh, shoot, that scared the crap out of me. Now, Sniper 1234 has a membership in that navy blue crew. But, baby, why is that?
Because of skeptical fans.
Always staying skeptical.
Much love to skeptical
Dropping
fan.
that love from above. What did the man say as he's gifting some love to other family members here the whole night long? He's up to 40 now. And congrats to Sniper. But what did skeptical? I guess I'd say what did he say? But I know what he said.
He said a classic Go Cowboys.
Hell yeah.
Always. So thank you so much, Skeptical. Seriously, appreciate you.
Yes.
And I love to see all the love shared here, guys. Drop them if you got them. Those
For
wonderful membership emojis.
Hell yeah. Awesome stuff. And guys, as we get into just get ready. Preseason games come. You're going to see emojis from each team that we play. Some funny, making fun, smack talking emojis. So you guys in the membership, Navy, Blue, Silver, or Star, can use these when the haters come in and talk their ish. You know what I mean, guys? So it's a group effort here. It's a family effort. So as I wrap this up, I did want to say something else, though, baby. Actually, if there are any comments on this, or I guess, because I'm going to update the board here. I just on the 44. I want to put the 40 for Mr. Skeptical.
Oh, good. Let me see. Yes, Skeptical fan. He said the Navy Blue crew is stacked.
Yeah, I mean, we got a whole army in there.
And Skeptical fan is their general.
Hell yeah. Membership, man.
So, Kenneth Carlisle, what's up? Sniper1234, of course, much love to you. Cactus G throwing out there, don't sign a 6-year contract if you're going to be underpaid by year 4.
And, that is a great case to make. But that is also part of the signing the deal. He knows that if the money goes up, he will be able and allowed to, do his thing to try to get more money. And that is, you cut a player when he's not, you don't feel he's producing. What about when a player is making a lot of money? Doing top of his game, right? Number one guard out there. When you see that, does he deserve to be like the 10th or 8th or 5th best, guard? Or does he deserve to be a top 3 guard paid? Come on. So that's what Zack Martin saying. I'm a Hall of Famer and I'm getting, $13 million. These guys are getting over $20 million. Come on. These guys are just new into the league. So Zack Martin has a point, but you guys make a point too. You try to don't sign a long deal. But Zack Martin, why did he sign this long deal? Do you remember why he signed a long deal? To help Jerry Jones and Stephen Jones.
That's right.
He did it to help them.
He was being a real one. He was being a real Dallas Cowboy.
By helping them,
Of course, that's what I'm saying. By obviously agreeing to this more long-term deal that allowed Jerry to massage the numbers in a way that benefited the front office and not so much him and his wallet.
Right. So again, in the end, I understand and I agree. Zack Martin should have, maybe, done something different, do it less time, but then he would have hurt the team. And you guys would have bitched about that. So he helped the team. Now it's time to help Zack Martin be a top-paid guard. It should not hurt the cap too much. And you could throw out their avoidable year if you really wanted to. and tuck in there $5 million, you won't even see the difference. I'm just saying. That's just the way it works. And trust me, by then, gambling money and the TV money is going to keep growing and getting bigger. Guess what? I mean, it's going to be $80 million higher than it is now, the salary cap. So that $5 million, you won't even see it in 2025. So just saying, give him the money. Let's leave him happy. He's our best player, really, on offense. If you look at it this way, we need him back on here. We can't have no ups and downs here, in my opinion. But at the same time, what's working against Zack Martin is every day he sits out, it's more money he's got to pay. But we also lose the best offensive lineman, the best guard in the NFL. And we need him here to be in the mix for what we're trying to do in this offense, right?
Of course.
So, yeah.
So, real quick, Raul said it. Let's keep Zack happy. He's earned it.
Agreed.
And not just earned it, but what happens? Let's talk about that alternative for literally 3 seconds, because we don't need to talk about it longer than that. What happens if Zack Martin is not on this offensive line? We get crushed like a tin can. So
you got Matt Farniok and you got Chuma Odoga playing guards. That's a scary sight.
Yeah, don't ever say that again.
Well, that's the reality if we don't sign Zack Martin. So Zack Martin has Jerry Jones's nuts, his literal nuts, in a vice, and he's screwing it tighter and tighter. And he can do it. He's a Hall of Famer still at this level.
So, let me see.
Excuse me.
See what I said. I'm doing a Zack at work right now. So, Ken and Carla said, my grandparents have been season ticket holders for 29 years. That's awesome.
That is fantastic. True blue. Cowboy family.
That's right. Hold on there. You guys said MCF never fails. Every year with players, contacts, no kickers, and just insanity. Go Cowboys.
It's always something crazy. You know what's always going on here? And in some shape, form, or fashion, last year it was really a elevated, dosage of this. But, we still, even on a good year like this year, we still get a lot of the sprinkling of the clown show. A lot of clown show sprinkles. It happens. What are you going to do? So just wanted to say, actually, this is a little clown show discussion as I end this here. Cowboys have been open to working on contract extensions for CeeDee Lamb, Trayvon Diggs, and Terrence Steele. Jerry Jones has discussed restructuring Dak's contract and give him an extension. But now the Cowboys have to deal with another contract situation with Zack Martin. And now, again, it's one thing to have one contractual issue and you got Zack Martin popping it on you. You have CeeDee Lamb, Trayvon Diggs, Terrence Steele, Dak Prescott, and now Zack Martin to kind of think about what the hell you're going to do. The clown show backed us in the corner once again, guys. So, look, I still think this is just a tactical move by Zack Martin. It's a good move by Zack Martin. It's not even really that this specific thing with Jerry Jones and Zack. This is just business. It's not Jerry Jones' fault. He got a great deal when he signed Zack Martin, and it's not Zack Martin's fault. He's allowed to do this as a player. Especially when you exceed your pay grade, you're eligible to freaking sit out and take the punishment, hurt the team a little bit, but that makes the owner say, okay, I'm going to give you what you deserve. In this case, definitely the situation. He gets what he deserves. So again, Cowboys the only problem for me is that it's more like Rolando said, more stuff going on that we don't need to keep seeing, more shit going down in the background with this unhappy contract situation for Zack Martin. And listen, it's not just about Zack Martin. I talked about, Trayvon Diggs in the mix here as well. Let me mention Trayvon again here for a quick second. Give me a minute here, guys. Trayvon Diggs, there he is. Trayvon Diggs actually was kind of, I don't say mentioned, but kind of important to this because Des Bryant spoke on Trayvon Diggs' contract situation on his personal corner spaces, like a podcast or internet. He said that he and Trayvon Diggs have been talking, and basically summarizing what he's saying. Basically, Des Bryant says that Trayvon Diggs is, quote, not trying to knock the Cowboys across the head, but then he said the team is, quote, not trying to be fair to him. So, what do you think?
Sorry about that. I was reading the chat.
Oh, okay. Well, Trayvon Diggs, he was asked. Sorry, baby, I thought you were hearing me. He was asked about, not Trayvon Diggs, but Des Bryant was asked about Trayvon Diggs' contract situation. Des and Trayvon were talking together, and he just said, Trayvon Diggs is not trying to knock the Cowboys across the head. he said the team is not trying to be fair to him.
I mean, honestly,
he's blaming who on this, right?
Dez has an intimate experience working with our front office, and he feels like he was also not valued the way that maybe he should have been. So, and let's be honest, guys, we've all kind of been sitting here wondering, hey, what is the status there, Cowboys, right? So, yeah, I do think there's probably some disrespectful-ish happening in regards to Diggs and his contract as far as Diggs in our front office currently at this time.
What's the chat saying on this Diggs situation, on the Zack Martin situation? Any thoughts on Zack Martin, baby? I mean, I really want to give everybody a chance to throw in the 2 cents there. I shared
most of my Zack Martin thoughts. I don't really want to rehash.
How about the family in the chat?
So, Frame Ripper said, pay Zack, but sooner or later, we need to start moving away from the strategy of building an O-line. The Chiefs and Pats win with mid-level O-linemen.
They get the right guys in there.
That's going to be a tough one to get
in this day and age.
Any front office of ours, I think, on board anytime soon. So, just throwing out there. Let me see. SnugX said we paid Dez and his foot fell apart. So, yeah, but he still feels like what he got paid was not what he should have gotten paid. Yeah, what he deserved. Oh. So, whether you do or I do is almost irrelevant, right? It's how Dez thinks and feels about it. So,
but Dez is really cool with and Jerry and Stephen Jones and the front office.
Oh, yeah,
they both hang out all the time. So they're still cool. He just knows that Dez Bryant knows the front office plays games. We've seen it with DeMarcus Lawrence, Dak, a lot of other players. Now you're seeing it with Zach Martin a little bit. You're seeing it with Trayvon Diggs, CeeDee Lamb. Keep going here. Terrence Steele, I could understand that one, though.
No, of course. So, let me see. Mike Aldana said, Dez made his own bed with his contract situation. And yes, Dez's situation was a lot more complicated, a lot more complex. But you can see why he feels so strongly, I think, maybe supporting Trayvon Diggs in that regard. So...
Well, we'll see. I mean, again, Dez Bryant's always going to be in favor of the player. You know what I mean? So that's
what I said.
Yeah. Now, listen, we kind of went over everything. I think we touched on the whole Zack Martin situation, inside and outside. So this would be typically the end of the show. I'm going to do a little repeat for tonight versus tomorrow, whenever we go live again tomorrow. So I do want to do quickly. This just came out before we went live, so I wanted to throw it out there. But we're going to redo it tomorrow, just so you guys know. And this is about Brandon Cooks. New receiver, a very important piece of this offense. And he was actually on NFL Total Access today, guys. And first and foremost, let me just show you really quickly a little preview of what's going to see tomorrow. His workout. Check this video out, guys, of Brandon Cooks. I mean, look at him. He's stomping here with the weights. I think he looks fantastic when you look at his speed and his cutting ability. Look, he's like a robot out there. And his cutting ability is fantastic. Again, I think that... Let me see how they're showing this. Look at this. The catching over the top. I mean,
great.
His feet never stop. You know how fast he is, right? So you have this he's getting like a weight jacket there, it looks like. So again, he is just really grinding, getting ready to help us. I know Eastside Harold hates this, but it's the way it is, brother. It's the way it is. Brandon Cooks, he's ready. He's ready to roll here with the Cowboys. So I know that there is he was on NFL Total Access today. And he was, he was basically asked, what could he be doing with the Cowboys that he didn't do in the past? Like, give us some information of, what are some of the differences between now and the other 4 teams you played on? And I think Patrick Claiborne asked him, basically you changed the team a few times in the league. You've been productive. What are you doing now that you did differently? What did he say?
So he said, that's a good point. I think just going into year 10, being able to have special receivers around me like CeeDee Lamb, Michael Gallup, JT, not only from a production, and of course that's Jalen Tolbert, by the way, not only from a production role that I'm expected, but also from a role to be able to lead. And so that's what I'm looking to bring, obviously. I just want to get back to winning, and however that looks, I'm willing to do.
Love these routes. I'm loving these routes, and I love what he's saying there. The connection is obvious. We're going to talk more about Brandon Cooks tomorrow. Stay tuned. But his connection with this team has grown quick. He's an experienced player. He's the oldest receiver in our team. And he is really bringing an added dimension to this offense in the scheme he's going to be playing, running these deeper routes, his moves. He's going to create separation with his route running. I mean, his ability to catch is fantastic, off the charts. I'm really excited to see what he's going to do. Now, he also spoke about the plans when it came to Dak Prescott. All right? So, basically was asked what Dak Prescott and the Cowboys offense is like compared to the other offenses he's been part of, right? What's the difference? What's the tweaks with the offense itself? And he said, things are all about attacking. We have an attacking playbook, an attacking scheme, as opposed to kind of sitting back and letting the game come to us. That's different than the Kellen Moore days, right? Kellen Moore, we were sitting there just kind of waiting for the play to develop. No, this is about attacking. That means Dak's throwing quick passes, quick slants like that to Brandon Cooks. Hopefully we see a lot of touchdowns from that, right? So when he was asked this, again, saying he was, Maurice Jones-Drew asked him, he's played with Tom Brady, under Belichick, Sean Payton, Drew Brees, played with the Rams, and what's his name? The head coach of the Rams. McVay. He had 1,000 yards. All these teams played in Houston, even 1,000 yards with their shitty quarterback that they have there. What is Dak's? Again, he had 1,000 yards with Watson, I think, but the next year he still had almost 1,000 yards with the trash they had back there. What is Dak and the offense like compared to these other offenses, the other 4 teams he's been with, other offenses he's been around? What did he say?
He said, obviously we just had the spring to get going, but the biggest thing that I've noticed is the fast pace. We want to get the ball. Coach McCarthy talks about attack, not waiting and sitting back, but going out and attack. And that's what I've noticed throughout practices, throughout throwing sessions this offseason. So the faster, the better. And so I'm all for that.
I'm telling you guys, this is what we're about here coming into this season. Now we have 2 highly respected, analytic hires, along with, 2 fantastic receivers. And, of course, you could say Gallup in that mix there. Speed's still there. We saw that in the 60-yard bomb in training camp. He gets 1,000-yard seasons from 4 different teams. I think he's had 1,000-yard seasons 6 out of his 9 years in the NFL. He does it again this year. Guess what happens? Only player in history. He'll pass Brandon Marshall, the only player in history to have done this with 5 different teams. He's been in the field, baby. 116 out of 130 games. 89%. Over 89%. He's been on the field. He means he hasn't missed games. Enters this year one of the most durable players. Averages 13.1 yards per touch in his career, and he plays all 3 wide receiver positions. So, just saying, guys, he's had Michael Thomas, Rob Gronkowski, Robert Woods, Cooper Kupp, all on his teams. Remember, he wasn't necessarily they were progressing guys. They were like rookies. He was the number 1 guy on these teams. So now he's on a team that he can be just a chill back, kind of second or third receiver. Also with Dak as a quarterback, we know he's put up big numbers throwing the ball. Again, last time Dak had the 3-headed monster at receiver with Amari Cooper, Gallup, and CeeDee Lamb, you know what Dak did? Was in the MVP conversation in 2021 with 4,449 yards, 37 touchdowns. He only had 10 interceptions, by the way, that year. That was when Amari, Gallup, a healthy Gallup, and a rookie, a young CeeDee Lamb were playing together. Now we got an experienced guy in Brandon Cooks, a number 1 receiver in CeeDee Lamb, and a now healthy Michael Gallup. So to me, what Cooks is adding is a dimension to the offense that even Amari Cooper could not add. I think the last time we might have seen that, Terrell Owens and Terry Glenn, the late Terry Glenn, in 2006, back there, with the Romo years, right? So getting excited about this offense is definitely possible. I think it's definitely a right of ours to look forward to what we're going to see. And I think that, once we see it on the field a little bit more and can trust it, we'll be very happy with this offense. That's just me. That's my 2 cents. I don't know what you think about this, but I love what Brandon Cooks is bringing.
Honestly, the type of energy and just his excitement for it, too, like he said. And did anyone else notice how excited he seems to be over some of the tweaks that McCarthy has already implemented into our future Texas Toast offense there? So, it's not like he gave away national secrets or anything, but it is very telling what he did actually say, or maybe didn't say, but more importantly, what he did say, obviously.
What we're going to move to here is, it's not about resting, it's about an attacking offense.
It's also nice to have someone on the receiver side of things that is excited and wanting to have that kind of leadership mentor type of role, just because it does feel like something like that has been lacking a bit. So, not to say that there haven't been leaders or good teachers and stuff, but for some reason it just hasn't clicked 100%.
Remember Gallup, he's even though he's one of the most, I guess, the oldest experienced receiver on our roster, but he's not really that much older than CeeDee Lamb, and he's not, he's never been the number 1 kind of guy on the team anyways, or the leader on the team, that's been Amari, Dez, CeeDee Lamb, whoever's been the number one guy has moved into that spot. So what I'm trying to say is here, Brandon Cooks not the number one guy, but yet he's the leader. That's what's crazy about this. He could be a number one guy in most teams. He's a leader here, and that's going to be major for the wide receiver room. And I think that's what we're going to see in this season, with Brandon Cooks, not just, helping them on the field, off the field. We've seen him already working with Jalen Tolbert, a lot with him. We've seen him also doing this thing with Dak at the Atlanta meetup. Brandon Cooks was involved in the mix there. I mean, I'm pretty sure he was in the mix. I think, yeah, there he is. Let's see. Yeah, he's over here in the white shirt. They're second from the right, next to Tolbert. Tolbert's on the right standing up, and the white shirt is Brandon Cooks. So, again, Brandon Cooks is involved fully, all in on our Cowboys team, and that's exactly what we need to be sprinkled into this offense with the McCarthy tweaks and Brandon Cooks to replace Noah Brown. Woo, that's a big upgrade there. Now let's not go backwards and not give Zack Martin what he should get so he can be here ready to go day one of training camp. That's all. I'm going to go a little more in detail tomorrow about Brandon Cooks. I just want to give you guys a little bonus, little 2-second, a little 5-minute bonus, kind of preview for tomorrow.
So shout out to Lost in Translation saying this offense is going to be special because we have an embarrassment of riches. Our second team is actually A1 and A2. Each new guy brings something special, from the tight end to the fullback to wide receiver. It's amazing.
It's true. There's a lot of possibilities with this team.
So Frame Ripper said, talk about coaching blunders. Starting Jerry Glenn in the playoffs after not playing all year was stupid as fuck.
No. I mean, again, there's a lot of blunders. Who was that? Wade Phillips that year? I think so.
Let me see here.
I know Bill Parcells would have done that.
Just kind of rolling back here. No, I think we touched on most of those comments.
Awesome. I'm glad everyone got their 2 cents in on this situation. I know we were sorry, guys. We were a little late on the Zack Martin stuff as far as the discussion portion, but I'm glad we kind of still quickly caught up to everything, I think, and have a good understanding of what's going on. Whether you agree or disagree with Zack Martin's situation, number one, that's part of the way it is. That's part of the moves that you have as a player. That's why it's like this in the CBA, because the owners understand that this could happen. So this is happening now to a future Hall of Famer and a guy who's still number one at his position. So he's really got the screws on right now. But whether you like it or dislike it or think it's wrong or think it's right, think about it like this. It's business. The owners, they can fire Zeke and not give him his full contract. They can also be put to the test by a Zack Martin to make sure he gets a little more money closer to what he deserves. That's where we sit there. Now, I'm glad we got to discuss it. Everyone got their 2 cents in. We want 6 and beyond. But now we got to get going for the night, guys. Over an hour and a half here of Cowboy news, info, and updates. Last comments and shout-outs here, baby, as we roll out.
Skeptical fan, always staying skeptical. Much love to you. Appreciate that representation.
By the way, I want to say Skeptical Fan is the gifting membership back-to-back leader per month. And this month in the lead again with 40. Gave like 7, 8 tonight. We bow down to Mr. Skeptical Fan, who's also in first place on the overall board and also our sponsor of the week. A little mini takeover there. By the way, Mark Hosepian, 84 points in second place on that board. And baby, at that Cash App levels, we know who the king is. Snug X, we know why he's here.
Woo, you know it.
He's also the leader currently. So appreciate you, Snug X. Go Cowboys. Sorry, go ahead. I'm sorry. I know I interrupted. I want to make sure
and by the way, Skeptical, I don't think we've seen any emails from Burn Bar yet.
Still waiting on you, Burn. Come on, Burn. I'm going to look for him tonight. So I'm going to try to find him one last shot for him. Or we're going to have to raffle that hat off.
Yes, thank you again, Skeptical Fan.
Much
Stephen
love.
White in the house, of course. Snug X. Much love to you. Rolando Rodriguez representing. Frame Rippers, much love. We have Mike Aldana in the house. Rolando Rodriguez. Cannon Carlisle. Raul. Mike Aldana. Dirty South MVP. Sniper 1234. Cactus G in the place to be.
And we got a 5 on it by the man, Mr. Mark Hosepian, powering up a little bit on that board. And he dropped that $5 holler. What did the man say?
Said, I disagree. There is guaranteed money. If a player breaks his leg right after he signs, owners have to pay out the guaranteed money. You got to honor your signature.
I hear you there, Mark, but that's different than, in the NFL. Hold on one second, guys. Just give me a second. Sorry, guys. Sorry. Want to make sure the doggy was all right. But, Mark, interesting discussion there on this. Again, I understand the contract and all that stuff. Guaranteed money is also part of the deal. So that is the part that Zack Martin has nothing in. He has no guaranteed money for the next 2 years on his contract. So you're making a point for Zack Martin. But you got to remember, the guys, it's not like your guy's workplace or my workplace. This is a different kind of workplace. There's rules set in place that's different than regular workplace rules. In the NFL, entertainment, right? It's entertainment as well as a sport. In the NFL, you got players like Ezekiel Elliott, who got his guaranteed money already. The Cowboys are not paying him any more right now. I think going forward in the future, whatever he got, it's pretty much that's it. He's out the door now. The guaranteed money hits you on the salary cap. That part's true. We have to pay that on the cap, but not necessarily pay the player. They might have gotten their money already. The point here is, if a player breaks his leg and is out, yes, they have to, that's a workers' comp, right? I mean, that's a workplace injury. So you still got to pay the guy the way, what he deserves, right? And that's in the CBA. So whether we agree or disagree, that's the rules of the game. Owners must pay a player if he breaks his leg and he's got the guaranteed money. He retires. He's still got guaranteed money for 2 years. You got to pay that. That's true. That's the way the deals are made. Now, that helps the players. You also got situations where you don't have guaranteed money. Some, like Zack Martin, he gets injured. He gets cut. He has nothing to fall back on. Let's just say, for example, any player could be in that situation. So, again, too bad. That's the way the deals are worked. If the deals have a guaranteed money, and the Cowboys cut Zack, if Zack Martin sucked right now, let's say he was just done with his career, we cut him. We don't take any cap hit, and no one's mad at that. So and he loses out his contract. He loses out on money, and even though he signed that contract, right, guys? And that's part of the deal. You sign the contract, a team can cut you. If you don't have guaranteed money, you're screwed. If you do, you get a little bit of extra money. You don't get the full contract, right? That's the way it works. That's the way this business works. So when you look at it the other way, you just cannot get mad when a player has the only leverage they can use, like Saquon Barkley, like Zeke did, like Zack Martin is doing. When the only leverage you can use is holding out to get your market value, even with a contract you signed 6 years ago to help your team. Jerry Jones and Steve Jones, they did this to themselves. They chose to get this team-friendly deal, knowing that the price is going to go up in the future. And Zack Martin, if he's still at that level 2 years before his contract's over, he may want to restructure this thing because he deserves more. That's part of the CBA. That's part of every contract in the NFL. And if you're good enough to do that, you can pull that card. Zack Martin's just doing a business move here, guys. It's a business move. Owners do business moves every single day. Every day they do business moves, right, guys? They cut guys. They trade guys. They don't give a shit about guys' lives and shit. So it goes the other way, too. You got to give it both ways. That's all. Look, I'm babbling here. I just wanted to give my 2 cents on this and my thoughts on this, because I do believe that I don't like to see this. I hate seeing it, but I also know it's the business, and I cannot get mad at Zack Martin for this. Can't get mad at Jerry Jones, Stephen Jones for this. It's not anyone's fault. All that comes down to now is, what do? You're going to let Zack Martin sit out the season? I don't think he's going to be able to afford to do that, especially if he wants more money. I mean, he's not going to want to spend half his check sitting out the season. He's going to lose all his money. But then, where do you $17 million instead of $20 million? Can we get there? I'll do it. Throw in those extra $6 million, an avoidable year. You will never see it hit their contract. You never see it hit the cap. Mark Hovsepian dropping another 5 on it. 94 points on that stream, boss, and he said, "To me, a signature is a man's word. It's stupid not extending. It's stupid not extending him. Zack should say, if you don't negotiate, then I'll be a free agent and we'll re-sign with another team." He's under contract though, so that's why you have to hold out on those with Zeke, I think, right? He's saying Zack should say, okay, not Zeke. Zack should say, if you don't negotiate, then I'll be a free agent and we will sign with another team. I hear you on that, but he wants a deal now, and that's what I'm trying to say. The balance is in their hands. Like they are allowed to use a holdout, the players, with a lot of fines. You got to remember, this is the business, so they can hold out and get hit with a lot of fines for that player to make their point. And yes, and unfortunately, it hurts the team But he's doing what he believes is best for his career and his wallet in that situation. We hate to say it, but football is still a business. The owners never stop reminding us. But the players, they got to be quiet about it. I guess it's a business, right? Mark, another 5 on it. We want 6. We got 5 on it. 1 away from fully loaded on a stream boss. And right now, I think he's right there with Mr. Skeptical Fan. They're basically neck and neck for that top spot. Mark said, no, it does not, my friend. You have to confirm to what's in a contract. Can an owner say you didn't play well, so he will not pay you? Never happens. No. No, I hear you. But if an owner does not like the way you're performing, an owner can cut you, even though you have a contract for 3 years. And you have 1 year guaranteed money. After that year, you don't like what he did, you cut him, right? They don't get paid anymore, brother. Mark, I'm just telling you. They don't get paid anymore at that point. They don't get that. The rest of that. If they sign a 3-year, $15 million deal, $5 million a year, and only $5 million guaranteed. Let's say $7 million guaranteed. $5 million that first year, okay. You do the second year, if you cut them, you only got to owe them is $2 million, and that's it. And if it's a $5 million guaranteed season, you cut them, you don't owe him anything. Even though you signed him for another $10 million owed to him, you don't give him a penny on the cap and in his hands. That's the way it goes. There's a lot of most situations for lesser known players that get traded and abused and used and abused, which is part of the situation. Those players don't get shit. A player who's making the veteran minimum on a 2-year deal with no guarantees or $15,000 guaranteed. I mean, they get cut tomorrow. They got $15,000 and they don't have the rest of that contract. So that's the way it works now. If you have guaranteed money, like Dak's is fully guaranteed, you cut Dak, he gets the money anyways. Fully guaranteed. Most players do not get fully guaranteed. The only players that used to get fully guaranteed contracts are the quarterbacks. So that Mike says the owner can cut you and take a cap hit. That's the way that they structure the contract. Like Zeke got all his money already, but he ain't getting any more money now. He was cut and there was no guaranteed. I don't think there was any guaranteed money that was left. It's more guaranteed on the cap, I believe. That's the way it works. So, that's I think it's the way it's structured. Some players are not able to get that guaranteed money. Some players are able to get more guaranteed money because of their status and their abilities. So that's why we had to wait an extra year to let Zeke go, because it was too stacked to guarantee money last year. Mark with another 5 fully loaded, and he said, correct, but that's the contract. If you don't like the contract, then don't sign it. Only way a player gets cut is if he is not playing up to expectations. True. Well, what about if you're getting a steal on a player? Does the player deserve to try to fight for a raise? I'm asking you guys in your jobs out there, if you are doing an exceptional job, but you're getting paid minimum wage, would you not fight to try to say, listen, I deserve a little more, even though I have this quote-unquote contract with you? Like I'm saying, this is business, so I'm asking, because I know in business, owners, managers, they kind of do what they want there with most of the power, which is the way it is in business, right? But, a person's allowed to ask for more, demand more money. If they suck and they don't deserve it, you can just fire them, right? And you can cut them in the NFL if they suck. Like you just said, if they're not playing up to the contract, you cut them. But if it's Zach Martin, you don't cut him. What do? And that's the negotiation tool that the CBA put in there from the owners agreeing it and the players agree with it. Now, it used to be a lot easier to sit out. Now it's really difficult. That's why this is not scary to me when it comes to Zach Martin. This is a ploy that he has the ability to use, and it's a business written agreement that any player can just sit out, hold out. Now, the deal is that they can't get that money back on those fines. That hurts that's the one difference from the past. That hurts the players from sitting out. They can threaten it. It can hurt a little bit, but that's the game they play. That's business. So, yeah, there you go. Rolando said the NFL stands for not for long. No contracts guaranteed money. Exactly. When you have contracts that have guaranteed money, then you have, those contracts are paper. Just paper. It's just if you play, you get paid. And I know most of us are like, yeah, that's the way it should be. Well, that's why players get contracts with guaranteed money, because of injury. Because of maybe they get schemed improperly or wrong, utilized improperly, right? I mean, we've seen this happen to our players, to other teams' players. Injuries, scheme, they play worse. They still put in the effort to try to get there. They couldn't perform. They shouldn't get their whole contract unless they agreed to that contract, right? Fully guaranteed Dak Prescott. But any other player, you get as much guarantee as you can. That's why I always say what really matters in deals is not it could be a 10-year contract. Who gives a good goddamn? But you got to look at what's the guaranteed years. That's what you look. That's the meat. Whatever the guaranteed years is truly how long that player is safe with that team. So there you go. I don't know. Without Martin, we're screwed. Says skeptical fan. Martin holds all the leverage and he holds all the cards, and he's got Jerry Jones's nuts in the vice grip, and that's just the way it goes, right? I mean, that's business. Listen. I can't get mad at Zack Martin. He's a Hall of Famer. What can I say? I mean, he's still playing at that Hall of Fame level. Do I say cut him? Fuck him? He's garbage. He's trash. I mean, come on. So actually, I would like to know from Mark, and this is just anybody out there, what would you guys do with Zack Martin right now? Would you play hardball and just hope that you don't sit out the season or sit out the training camp, the first week or two? Who knows, right? Would you risk that? Would you give him something closer to like 17, 18 million, which is probably where he wants to be at anyways? It's not going to alter the cap too much. Is it worth losing him because of pride? Or this is business? No, you're going to play by our rules only. Stick to the paperwork, because the owners never stick to the paperwork. So I'm just saying, this is the owners can cut players if they don't perform and they don't get all their money. And players can also sit out and force the owners to pay them more money. If they're good enough, they'll get more money. AKA Zack Martin. So, you know what I mean, guys? I'm kind of brainstorming with you guys on this. So, Michael Aldana says there are consequences for holding out. $50,000 a day. So every 2 days, $100,000. Every 20 days, you got $1 million you got to pay. That's most of training camp. You're paying $1 million. Can Zack Martin afford that? I mean, he's getting $13.5 million per year. So we'll see. How about them Cowboys? Says Cannon Carlys. Player perspective, says Mike Aldana. Yep, Scott goes ahead and Martin just cut ahead of the line. And you know what? Not every player can do that, right, guys? Not every player can just say, could Zeke do that this past season? Could Zeke say, listen, cut me or sign, or, give me an extension or give me more money? He was cut and he didn't even ask for that. So when it comes to Zack Martin, he ain't at the end of his career yet. He's at the ending of it, but he's not at the end yet. He's still playing number one status. Frame Rippers. Voodoo said, if I'm Zack Martin trying to win a Super Bowl so I can be among the Cowboy elites, the rest I don't care about. I know, Frame Rippers. I get you. But every single player in the league, this is a business, my man. It's a business. I know you can live off $13 million. This is about principalities here, right? The Friday, right? This is about principles. And Zack Martin should be paid as a top guard, not as a mid-range guard. He should be paid as an elite guard. And he signed a long-term deal to help the team, guys. Remember this. It was to help the Cowboy organization to sign more guys. Now we're going to penalize him for it because he wants what he's worth? It's a business. I always think back, and I'm sorry, but it's a business. But he still wants to win a Super Bowl. But it's still a business, right? Zach's 32. How long can he play? Well, he's still at the top of his game. So I'm saying 2 or 3 more years, and then, it'd be hard to get a trade for him at that point. Frame Rippers said, I also don't have an issue paying some shoes the best at his position, like the quarterback gets paid in the market. Again, unlike the quarterback, that's the problem. Every quarterback gets market value, so does running backs are losing out now because of market value. You get a running back for cheap nowadays, although we're paying over $10 million for Tony Pollard. Mark Hosepian said, I'm dropping that 5 on it, and I'm pretty sure Mark just jumped skeptical fan for first place. I'll have to do the numbers after the stream, but I'll check it out. Let me get back to Mark's comment because I want to hear what he had to say. He goes, I'd work with him. It annoys me when they hold out. Owners always follow the paperwork. Being under contract and holding out is not following the paperwork. But let me ask you a question, though. Again, if you cut a player, you're saying he's not agreeing to the paperwork because he's underproducing, so he should be able to not get the rest of his money? I'm just trying to figure it out because I understand that to an extent, Mark, but that's not the rules. That's not the rules in the NFL. So, in the rules of the NFL, he's protected to be able to try to demand more money or get his market value, whatever it may be. So, owners have to follow the paperwork. Why? Well, they follow the paperwork until the player don't play anymore. And then they release the player. You know what it says in this paperwork too? A player is free to hold out. Every single contract has player is free to hold out, and they have to get fined $50,000 a day. Whether we like what Zack Martin did or didn't do, this is completely allowed, and it is. I don't know if you guys don't like that. Maybe you lose respect for Zack Martin. I don't. It doesn't change my view of Zack Martin. Zack Martin's still one of the greatest Cowboy linemen in our history. He's going to be a first ballot, first year Hall of Famer. On the field, he's one of the greatest ever. So now you want to talk about his attitude about this? It's business, baby. It's business. Simple as that. There's nothing else to say. It hurts, but it's true. Skeptical said, if you don't pay Martin, don't pay anyone. It's a waste of time trying to play without Zack Martin. I mean, cannot agree with that more than your words. I've already said it. And Skeptical is skeptical, but he's correct, as he usually is. Now, I do want to say that Skeptical fan, I did do the mathematics here behind the scenes. Even though Skeptical caught Mark with a big, big surge, he is currently now officially in second place there. Mark has jumped into first place and trying to reclaim that sponsor of the week board. Stop the skeptical fan, the membership man, from repeating like our 90s Cowboys. Much love there, Mark. Appreciate you, skeptical. Everybody in the house here, Snug X with the lead in the trying to go back to back on that Cash app. Brandon James Shea as well, dropping the love. Appreciate everybody here, guys. Cannot do this thing without you guys. Congrats to everybody who got those memberships. And much love and thanks to Skeptical Fan for providing them. Let's see, any other comments here? We roll out. I'm the wife. Get to sleep, guys. I'm about to get out of here, but I wanted to catch up a couple of your comments, last thoughts. But I love it. I love the discussion. It's a great back and forth. Keep bringing it, guys. If you have any more thoughts, I'll try to answer them and give you my opinion, I guess. But I'm with you, Skeptical. You cannot go without Zack Martin. You just can't do it, running or passing. And he's running one of the tops there, right? So Andrew Ruiz said Martin has earned the right to do this, period. Those there are facts. That's in the contracts as well. Mike Aldana said players are independent contractors, self-employed, exactly, and they're still united, unionized with the NFLPA, but that's why the NFLPA pushes to get certain rights for the players that is different than, let's say, rights that you have at your office, at your jobs, right, at my job. So these are rights that they have only in football because it is tied into the overall income and billions of yearly dollars of profit that come pouring into the NFL, distributed amongst all the owners, as it should be, all the facilities and all the staff and all that, and the players too. It's all connected. It's the way it is. Like Tupac said, it's just the way it is. Now listen, I know it wasn't him, guys. I know it wasn't him. It's Sting, right? Listen, so anyways, Skeptical said tell Dak to pay him a few million. If you do that on the table, I wish he would. But again, Dak's situation, even though it does affect everybody's situation, Dak still got to do Dak things like Zack's got to do Zack things. Can't get mad at either guy. If the Joneses would have been smart, they would have signed Dak for $29 million some years ago, and we could have made a decision now about Dak Prescott. But, yeah, they had a chance to get a good deal, and Jones has missed on that multiple years in a row. Rolando said, Jerry said he'll sign a check to win another Super Bowl. Yeah, I agree with you. I think he's lying. I think he says that because we know the one thing he won't do is give up that GM position. Dude, if you want, give up the GM position there, Jerry, and we may be able to get to an actual Super Bowl and win it. Aldana said the clown show says a lot of things. Doesn't mean it's true. Exactly. Skeptical said, I got an extra charge on my cable bill. I have to pay some of it, even though I didn't want to. Same thing with Jerry. Yeah, again, it's an extra charge. It's written to your contract. It's written to your bill there, your cable bill. You gotta deal with it, even if it clicks out. Like here, we lose it once in a while. The internet, we still didn't get reimbursed for that. We got to pay for the whole thing. You lose a guy for a couple of weeks. You lose him for the season. It's part of that's why they get protections, because this is football, not we're sitting in an office typing, right? You're not going to sprain your pinky. You're going to break a leg. You don't do that in the office, guys. So, I'm just throwing it out there, all angles, all possibilities. Let me get on out of here, guys. I've been here overtime sessions here, 2 hours in, talk Cowboy football. Appreciate everybody here. Skeptical, great insight. Thank you for the membership drops, the sharing that way. The sponsor of the week, of course, Skeptical Fan. The current second place man, Skeptical Fan. First place, Mark Hovsepian. 100 points on that stream boss as well. You guys been rocking it tonight, and you look at that king of the Cash App. We had Jason Renfro drop a little love this week, but right now the king of the Cash App is none other than the guy who's running the Cash App right now, and he's going for that back-to-back. There's Tony Pollard Holler, Snug X. We know why he's here. Much love to him. So now, hopefully we'll have Zack Martin ready to roll on this team here in less than a week in training camp. Again, guys, Tuesday the 25th is the check-in date. That's when $50,000 starts getting charged to Zack Martin if he's not checked in. Tuesday. Correct. So right here, around the corner. Got 5 days away. Let's go. I'm ready. You ready? We all ready. Zack, you better be ready, bro. You better be ready. Guys, thank you for rocking with us here. Hoodlum in the house. Appreciate you, man. Everybody here, have a good night. I want you all to make sure you don't forget to hit that like button right now for this stream. Hit the subscribe button if you have not subscribed yet. Subscribe to the channel here and add to the family, being another person here in the crew, subscriber to the channel. And of course, hit that notification bell. Make sure you mark that to all videos. We drop videos, we drop shorts, wait, that didn't sound good. We drop the shorts videos, and we drop these live streams almost on the nightly. So make sure you have that notification bell on. Follow us on Twitter at MyCowboysFamily. Make sure you follow us there. We drop it in there. The Discord, we drop our stuff when we go live through there as well as great football talk. So I appreciate everybody in the house, in the chat, dropping the love. But guys, you know how we do this every day and night here on My Cowboys Family. It's about that navy blue. That's silver too. And always, you see it on my hat, that star. Over everything, guys. Win, lose, or draw, good, bad, or ugly, we're always repping that star right here on My Cowboys Family. And you know the one thing about MCF here, this channel, My Cowboys Family, on YouTube for over 6 years. Now into our 7th year. We got 6. We want 7 and beyond, guys. Never forget the number one thing here, now, and forever. As always, go Cowboys! Let's get that 6 and beyond. Thank you all for dropping the knowledge in the chat all night long. All night. Thank you, guys. And also the drops of love from above, the gifted memberships, the Cash App, the Super Chats. Thank you, guys. You make the MCF world go round here. And the overtime session as well, Mark. Everybody can't do this without you all. So, again, we'll be back tomorrow for the Fan Friday. We got a lot of Brandon Cooks cooking here to talk about. I want to know what your thoughts are, what the Brandon Cooks difference is going to be. We'll discuss this and so much more tomorrow here on My Cowboys Family. But before we can officially drop out and clock out for the night, relock and reload for the Fan Friday tomorrow. As the wife always says, before we can officially drop out of here for the night, we got to drop the beat. Oh, yeah. Beat's been dropped. The wife already dropped out. She's sleeping. Guys, thank you for rocking here with us once again for another one. The wife will definitely catch the replay tomorrow, though. You can bet. If she goes driving to work, she's always got the parts that she might have missed, or maybe rewatches some of them sometimes just to catch some of the things that fell through the cracks. But she was chatting in the chat. So, guys, we'll definitely hear everything you guys have said tonight and beyond. Thank you all for rocking with us here. Remind those Eagle fans some basic math, or mathematics, I guess, no matter where you are on this Earth, planet, or universe. Remind them all. 5 is always greater than uno, than 1. And make sure they remember to cry. Eagles cry. Another one in the books, guys. Another Cowboys chat. Here, it's a wrap. Question marks about Terrence Steele coming back. Week 1 is maybe not so crazy. Zack Martin, that's a whole different story. I think we're okay, but we'll have to wait and see, right? You never know. Micah Parsons, he's busting butt out there. I mean, just really, he's ready to go. More than ready to go for training camp. You know who's gone? Daniel Snyder, and Jerry Jones loves it. Look at evil Jerry. You got to love that. You know what else I love, guys? I love that navy blue. Silver, too. That star over everything. Here in MCF, never forget the number one thing. Much love to everyone. We'll see you back here tomorrow for another one. Fan Friday style, guys. Thanks for hitting that like and subbing it up to the channel. Have a good night. Stay safe. Peace out. And never, ever, 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 never, ever forget. Go Cowboys!
monk on the beat.